everybody. Let me know if you can see me. I'm trying this new camera thing. I'm trying to get my purple right. It looks blue. So bear with me while I try to get the light good. But how is let's see. Is that more purple? Is that more purple? Which one looks more purple to y'all? That. Let's go with that. Um, but how are you? Hey, Amby. So, Amby, I'm going to tell you about work because I don't know. There was someone at work today that upset me, if you don't mind, Amby. And whoever else is in chat, what is going on? But I see Amby, so that's who I'm going to talk to right now. Work has been one of those things. It was funny because I was watching Vivi. So if y'all know Vivi Plays from the Stadia days, I was watching Vivi, and Vivi was like, "Hey, Purple, when do you finish work?" And I was like, "That's funny. I never really finish work. I just go on to the next little task I have." And then he said, "Purple, you should get work-life balance." And I was like, "What type of woke stuff is this?" No, I'm joking. I didn't say that. But I wanted to. Hey, Sour Blow. Hey, Obi Rose. Obi, I know. So y'all, I know Obi. Soon, if y'all decide to jump in today, as soon as Obi comes in, because he has a lot going on, we're gonna put Obi on. But that doesn't mean you can't jump in. But yeah, it's a community stream. So Sour Blow, I'm gonna put the link in the chat here pretty soon, and y'all can join in, and we can talk whatever. So if y'all want to talk about the controversy that is Cowboy's channel and how he's no longer doing console warring. Well, I'm not sure if he ever did console warring, but he's definitely taken a stand. Or if you want to talk about what I didn't know was a thing, which I guess is the Forza situation. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. So just full disclosure, like I saw Estadia, y'all know who he is. He posted something about Forza, and I don't get it, because to me racing games all look the same. I don't know, but I guess there's some controversy there. Some studio closures just happened. There's a couple of scary games coming out that I'm looking forward to. It's October, so if you ever wanted to get Little Nightmares, Five Nights at Freddy, any of the scary games I play, they're all about to go on sale. So if that's your thing, definitely pick them up. Hold on while I try to get to my chat to post this link here. But Obi, let me know. Where's FCAT? FCAT said he was going to join. We need FCAT. We got to get FCAT. He said he was going to join today. And let me just post this here before. October's good month to start Outlast. What is Outlast, Amby? What is Outlast? I still need to finish Alan Wake, which I'm going to finish probably not this weekend, but the weekend after next. But we're going to pin that. Let me know if y'all got that. Yeah, y'all did. Y'all did. I see it. Hey, only game we're worried about this month is Spider-Man. Rune, I had this conversation. Rune, if you want to hop in the chat, let me know. No camera. You don't have to do the camera. You can just do the voice. But why is Spider-Man so popular? Hey, Geek, what's going on? This is to y'all. Because Obi Rose asked me this earlier. He's like, Purple, you got a PS5, which I'm not going to confirm or deny. And he said, I heard you got it because of Spider-Man. And I don't get, no worries, Ron. I don't get what's up with Spider-Man. Why does everybody, like, what is the fixation? Why this superhero? He's not even that, like, great of a superhero. So why this one? Like, why is Spider-Man? Holtz, I'm not going to confirm or deny. I may deny, but I don't want to bust anyone's bubble. But I don't recall getting a PS5. Y'all know my rule on PS5: ugly consoles don't come home. So yeah, don't no, Amby, I'm not disrespecting Spider-Man. I'm just saying what what is blasphemy? He's top 3. Spider-Man is better than Batman. Superman. Well. Let's get like I know about Superman, and he ain't all that. So I don't know why. blasphemy. No, Geek, you mean Blasphemous 2. Great game, by the way. I'm glad you're playing it, Geek. I don't know if you're playing Blasphemous. He's not great. He's amazing, Smart. Get with it. No, why? Why is he amazing? Like, I really want to know this because everybody's like Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man, Miles Morales. It's an amazing thing. And I'm not going to lie. I told you, wasn't down with Starfield. But I'm not really down with Spider-Man. I don't get it. I don't get it. Those popular heroes that have the best villains, Batman, then Spidey. So I think Batman is respectable. I think he's a respectable person. Superman is more popular, but not better. Yeah, I think Superman is more popular because he's very basic. But Batman, Spider-Man, the best. The rest. So, Obi, I like him. I'm not saying I'm not. See, Ambi is a Spider-Man simp. If y'all did not know, he loves Spider-Man. Ambi got not one, but 2 special edition PlayStation 5s. Spider-Man PlayStation 5s. If he's not here, he's got 2. Because he loves Spider-Man so much. But I don't get what Spider-Man's going on. He's all that in a bag of chips, no pun intended. Which bag of chips, by the way? If you're going to say bag of chips, you got to let me know bag of chips. And if it's not Red Hot Blues, then it ain't that great. Could be Takis, but I don't consider Takis potato chips because they're made out of corn. How could they be potato chips? I still haven't played the OG Spider-Man, but I definitely enjoyed Miles Morales. Well, Geeksy, you play a lot of games. Oh, look who is Doc Dark. Doc, you can come into chat if you want. Start talking about this. Juju and I are here showing support back. Well, thank you, Juju. Thank you so much for coming by. And Doc, Batman is goated, by the way. I think Batman's solid. Batman is a pretty good character. Who is Juju's favorite superhero? That's who I want to know because Juju is probably the best gamer in chat. No, I'm not joking, y'all. Juju is really good. And I just want to know, who does Juju believe is the best of all? Purple Nala, if you see Into the Spider-Verse, you're going to tear up your gotta watch order, though. The Spider-Verse, I can't. Here's the thing about, so I was talking to Ambi. So Ambi heard me talk about Spider-Man one time. I don't get it. It's like always like his teachers is a villain. It's like there's no flavor to it. It's like, oh, this dude's super important. Like the whole universe revolves around this guy. No, I just don't. I'm not hating on him. Like I think he's a stand-up guy. Like I said, I think I could enjoy a slice of pizza with him. I think he's a great dude. I really do think Spider-Man's like, I think he's a stand-up dude. I just don't, I'm not going to buy a console for him though. Come on. It's simple. Fritos. Well, which type of Fritos? Rude. Which type of Fritos? Which, by the way, if y'all did not know, Frito-Lay like owns every potato chip company. Pepsi, Frito-Lay. I keep saying Microsoft doesn't want to be Netflix of gaming. It wants to be the Frito-Lay of gaming. It wants to be Pepsi. His favorite super is Man, but he does love the Spider-Man game. No, I think Batman's cool. Like Batman, I like Batman's style. I like the darker, like if I wanted to watch a story, I like the darker. So I agree, Juju. Batman, stand-up dude. Batman's a stand-up dude. Spider-Man, I don't even know. Like supposedly he lives in Queens, but it doesn't look like the part of Queens I've ever been to. No, Andy, I didn't say you're a simp because you think he's better. I think that's a subjective take. I think you're a simp because you bought 2 PlayStations because of him. That is a simp. Hey, Roster, what's going on? Traffic's such a mess. I can imagine, Roster. His teacher is always it is, Obi. Like, I don't get it. I just got home. Yo, hey, Sanchez, what's going on? We're talking the original Fritos. The original Fritos, I don't even know what a Frito is. I don't even know what a Frito is. Fritos are only a thing because of Frito pies. You know what I mean? Like, Fritos by themselves aren't a thing. But if you have a Frito pie, which is basically chili and Fritos, which, by the way, is, if you didn't see the last episode I did with Jeff, poutine is chili as well. Despite what he said, gravy, it's chili. It's chili. Who's still purple? Is the Xbox purple? What do you mean is the Xbox purple? What are you talking about? Xbox. I just am a gamer. I don't care where you game or how you game or why you game or what you game on, how long you've been gaming. As long as you're gaming, you're good with me. And that's the same thing. Like, I don't care. I don't care. Like what you do. I don't. I this thing brought me back to gaming, as y'all know. Look at that. Look at that wasabi controller. I'm not the, before that it was too much for this world. It was too much, so they took it away. The good Lord took it away because we forsake it. We couldn't handle it. But one day it will rise again. Am I still in a story? Is that not how it goes? Oh, what are you talking about? Oh man, no. She's still Starfield was trash, but right now you can't. I'm not. It's not. If it's your type of game, it's your type of game. I was told Starfield is a quintessential Bethesda game, and I'm just not a quintessential Bethesda player. And I'm actually glad. Microsoft bought Bethesda. Controversial take for the night, because I think if Bethesda came out with Starfield, it would have went under. By itself. It needed Microsoft. There's no way it was gonna. I don't think it was gonna be a bad game. I just think it would have went under without Microsoft buying it. Starfield. I didn't say it was trash. I didn't say it was trash. Trump is from Queens. Trump is from Queens. U.S. Open is played in Queens. Fritos my favorite. Fritos Sanchez, really? More than Doritos? It's the first time I ever heard it. Spider-Man PS4 and Spider-Man 2 Collector's Edition. Ambi, exactly. That's a simp. I haven't had Fritos in over 29 years, maybe only once. Mr. Urban Roy, I don't know if you're missing anything. I would say like the barbecue Fritos, maybe, but they're not potato chips. They're corn chips. Corn chips. Don't start her with food. She adds and takes away how she seems fit. She can add meat and call it a vegan. What are you talking about? DualSense controller is beautiful. I don't get the DualSense control. I don't get this stuff about DualSense and blowing on controllers. Wasabi is it was way too good. Wasabi controller was way too good. I agree. Too much or too little? Too much flavor? What's too much? Yo, I ain't gonna lie. When I was unpacking, I found my Stadia Premier Edition, and man, I was like, exactly. It will rise again. There's many people who believe like people in there will rise again. Stadia will rise again. May not be in my lifetime. I'm gonna start writing a book. Start talking about the rise of Stadia. It will be the console that ends all consoles. But it will do it. It's gonna come back. I see what you're doing there, Jinx. You know it. I'm the oldest here, Roan. Just know that. Mr. Urban, I think you're like the youngest. Don't lie. Urban's like 20 something. I got the black Stadia controller, and then the Stadia went and hid his side. Gee, what's wrong with the black? What are you trying to say about the black controller, Jinx? We ain't doing that today. I'm not getting banned. We're not doing that. I'm older than purple. Maybe. I told y'all. like I'm actually about to retire, y'all, for real. Like I actually can count on one hand years I have until I'm gonna retire. Doritos. Fritos are better than no, they're not. The Fritos are not better than Doritos. They don't even make new flavors of Fritos. Like that's how you know it's a dead chip. Like if Fritos was a console, it would be like, I don't know, it'd be Stadia. It'd be like we don't make games for it, Like they don't make flavors for that thing. It's not there. Wasabi is a flavor, a spice. Wasabi, actual wasabi. Y'all, did you know when you actually go to sushi places, wait, you don't actually get wasabi? Did you know that? Well, 20-something, thanks for the compliment. The black control, it was. I thought the black was good. Pearl leaked her age at the stream from a few weeks ago. Did I? I think I give you a range. Forget those over there. Let me hold on. What you talking about? It's just, I guess, gotta just let it grow. You gotta let it grow. I could make this a financial empowerment stream. I really could. I mean, I think everybody in stream right now, if you put your mind to it, every single person could retire in the next year. 12 months. Max 12 months. I share the same friend at Microsoft. This is a fact. We have several friends in common, Mr. Urban. Chili Fritos are the best, bro. Chili Fritos are good. I'll give you that. But I'm just saying in general, the Frito brand, like in general, like I think they should sell the IP. I don't know. Trying to make a bridge between chips and video games. Let's go. And y'all, if y'all want to jump in the chat, and if you want to tell me why you think Spider-Man is amazing, please let me know. If you want to tell me why you think Fritos is amazing, let me know. You don't have to show your face. I do it where you can only do your voice, or whatever you want to talk about. Like, because I have a lot of opinions about what's been going on in gaming right now, and so I could just talk about that. All the chips just talk just because I said I like Spider-Man. No, I'm not saying no. You're good. You're fine to like Spider-Man. I just asked why, Rune. Like, why is there such a push for Spider-Man? Like, why are people talking about Spider-Man will be game of the year? Like, that's what I don't get. Because I can tell you the new Spider-Man movie ain't going to win the Academy Award of the year. I tell you that much. So why would Spider-Man win game of the year? I don't get it. It is too expensive. But if you go to a nice... Geek, you're from Houston. There's a couple of pretty solid sushi places. If you ask for wasabi, they will give you wasabi. You want to retire in 12 months, send all your money to Room Mama and he'll flip it fast. You could do that. You could do that. But there's like millionaires made every single day, instantly. You just got to put your mind to it. No, I'm not going to make that this type of stream. Watch all I say, like, I drop in subscribers, like 100,000 people. But I could probably make this a financial stream. If y'all really wanted that, I could. Stop before I ban you. Even I'm playing the Cyberpunk DLC. Jinx, I am. Well, I'm playing Cyberpunk. I'm starting from the beginning of the game. Starting from the beginning of Cyberpunk because I really want to get to it. I was playing it on Stadia, but I started now, and I started with a different character. So last time I think I was the street kid. This time I am the corpo. I think they call me a corpo. So yeah, can you flip $0 at Rune? It depends. It depends. Sometimes you can. I'm more of a Sun Chips person. Well, see, Ron Slusher, that's the thing. Because the same people who own Fritos own Sun Chips. Did you know that? It's the same group, the same people. They own both of them. If you buy Fritos or you buy Sun Chips, you're supporting the same person. I've joined my mic registers. No problem, Holtz. Wait, is this the real purple? I'm not standing up, but it is the real purple. And that is the real Remy. I just saw him in the background. Doritos and cheese puffs. I can't stand cheese puffs. You want to know why I can't stand cheese puffs? Because cheese puffs, I see you there, Holtz. Give me a second. Cheese puffs remind me of a soldier I had in the Army one time. We couldn't find this soldier. This was when I was a lieutenant. This is like 20 years ago. We couldn't find this lieutenant. I was a lieutenant. We couldn't find this soldier. And he was in his room, and we knocked, and no answer. And so then finally we got the key. And we opened up the door, and there is this soldier right there in his like white Hanes undies and a white shirt with cheese puffs. And there was like cheese puff stains on his white undies. It was the most disgusting thing ever. I can never eat cheese puffs again. I can never see the word cheese puffs again. I can never do the cheese puffs again because of that. So thanks, Pratchett. Private first class back to PV2 Pratchett for that memory. Oh, man. Oh, no, I'm not standing up. I think so, Sarah. This might be the original part. I am not doing it very well. Let's see if Holtz's mic is ready. Holt, are you there?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but we can hardly hear you.
You can hardly hear me today?
Yeah, turn up your mic. Talk into the mic.
Yeah. What about now? Still not a game?
I can kind of... Go ahead. I can kind of hear you.
You can kind of hear me? Wow, it's on full whack. The whole restream's like screaming. I don't have the camera on because you insulted cheese puffs and white stains.
You're eating cheese. Are you eating cheese puffs?
I'm a hell.
In Hanes underwear with a white shirt. The whole thing was the cheese puff stains were on the underwear. They weren't on the shirt.
What's Hanes underwear?
Like they're like white. They're like white. To tell you the truth, they look like women's underwear, but they're men's underwear. I don't know how to describe it.
Is that like when you get like women to wear like female boxing shorts, but they're cut like men's shorts, but the opposite?
Kind of, yeah.
I'm not going to confirm or deny that I actually might be wearing.
I don't know. Well, hold. You know, you don't have to show your face. Like I said, if y'all want to, you can, but you don't have to. But yeah, if you ever bring up cheese puffs with me, that's what I think about.
There's one story that I've got. I've got a friend who is my friend for 34 years, and I can't eat a certain crisp because it reminds me of his smell.
It reminds me of his smell, so you weren't a fan of his smell.
Yeah, he's got like sort of like this really smell that reminds me of these crisps, and every time I eat them, I think to myself, "Oh, it reminds me of my friend from years." Well, he's still my friend today, but it reminds me of his sort of musky smell, and I'm like, ugh.
You're eating up. See, I don't think I could do that either. If there was a food that reminded me of, like I told you, this was just an image. I don't know what he was doing. Why? Like if you do your imagination, you can imagine what he was doing. But
what was it? People come with me.
Is that what it
was? World of imagination.
Yeah, that's exactly. He definitely wanted us to come with him, but no, we actually took his rank away like for that, and we posted it. We actually posted it on the walls. why we did that? So yeah.
Oh, so all for some. You opened
it was
the
correction action. It wasn't my idea. I just signed off on it. Oh, but yeah, he couldn't find his. I don't know, Rouser, if he was doing anything inappropriate with the cheese. Technically, he wasn't. So let's make it clear. He didn't get in trouble. Remy, I'm getting to that point, Remy. I'm going to get to that point. He didn't get in trouble because of the cheese puffs. He got in trouble because he was missing for more than 24 hours. He had misformation. So that's why he got in trouble. I just want to make that just in case someone's out there and they're eating cheese puffs in their underwear and you're wiping your hands on your underwear, that's not against the law. I'm just saying. Just going to put that out there. Hey, Cammy, what's going on? Microsoft should invent a snack pass. Why? You know, and if Doc Dark's out there, I decided. Oh, there you are.
I mean, I don't know.
I have another controversial take about game services, a subscription game services. Controversial take. I was thinking about this today, Holtz. Because Doc Dark, Sour Blue, if he's out there, always says Game Pass is the best game service. Game Pass. Best subscription game service. And I have a question. What about Amazon Prime? And no, I'm not saying because you get like Luna if you have Prime, but because Amazon Prime actually gives you free games from the Epic Game Store if you're a Prime game member. So wouldn't Amazon Prime, like they give you free games and they give you free shipping. So wouldn't Amazon Prime be technically the best game service?
But if you ask people why they subscribe to Amazon Prime, they wouldn't say games. It's definitely the...
Yeah, but I'm just saying that that's an added benefit. Just because if you ask people doesn't... You get what I'm saying?
I know, but you see, I'd rather have a over tier Amazon that doesn't tie into like sort of Amazon Music, Amazon Video, and just have the gaming and delivery. But that's not going to happen. So you have to have it all in or nothing. So...
But that's what I'm saying. You get all of that. You get all of that, but I'm just saying the fact that you get games for free. Plus so many other things.
I mean, I've never had a free game that I've been excited in literally the time games were going free. I mean, these are free games for a reason. They literally are.
I don't know. I'm just saying that, like, right now you can get Ghostwire Tokyo, which does not look like a game I will ever play. But everybody was like, Ghostwire Tokyo.
It's too hard for me. Why wouldn't you play Ghost? Why?
Because I don't like the word. I don't like how it sounds. Ghostwire. Like, what is a Ghostwire? Why is it in Tokyo? I just don't like the name.
I forgot. If it's a Ghostbuster though in New York, you're all over it. If it's a Ghostwire in Tokyo.
Yeah, what is a Ghostwire? I know what a Ghostbuster is, but what's a Ghostwire?
Yeah. Well, who knows? You trip over, you get caught.
Are we telegraphing ghosts now?
You trip over. It's like a landmine. You put a ghost wire down and the ghosts get caught. Not the vacuum buster a ghost.
No, I'm not buying it. I'm just saying. I don't like. I mean, like, if you like the game, if you like Ghostwire Tokyo, I'm not taking anything away. It's just like Spider-Man, y'all. Look, I'm not against Spider-Man. I just want to say that I'm not against
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, right?
I'm
Spider-Man is
not against Spider-Man. I'm
Spider-Man
putting it
is a
out there.
Spider-Man is a great character, but the game Spider-Man is literally the latest Spider-Man games is literally based off Arkham Asylum games. Arkham games, should I say? Not
But so
Asylum.
you're saying Spider-Man from PlayStation exclusive is based upon Arkham Asylum, which is a Warner Brothers game. This is you're
Yeah.
getting in like
This. I mean, Warner Brothers, what they've done with the Batman game, the Arkham series, the fight mechanics is literally what you see in Spider-Man. The sort of flips, the hits, the sort of counter mechanics, the sort of hit combos and press triangle and circle. It literally is based off.
I did not say that, y'all. So Holtz is coming out here and he's throwing a lot. He's throwing heat right now.
You know,
He's saying,
Warner Brothers deserves a lot of respect in like the sort of action fighting games. You know, they've sort of done the Lord of the Rings games, the Shadow of War and stuff like that. Shadow of Mordor and something else. And you think to yourself, they brought so many mechanics, the Nemesis system, stuff like that, that it actually influenced a lot of games going forward. So I wouldn't sit there and say Insomniac was the one that actually created the idea of like the the Spider-Man mechanics, because it's not true. A lot of fans do actually see that it's actually into that the Arkham series.
there you all have it. If you do not want to play, if you do not have a PlayStation, play Batman Arkham series, and you will get the Spider-Man experience.
I mean, definitely play Arkham, definitely play Spider-Man.
All I'm going to say is I think you would have a better superhero. I think we can agree on that. If you play Batman versus Spider-Man, the better superhero.
So, who would you like to see? Okay, so we're going to Purple. We're pitching you with Sony. We're going to pitch you a superhero franchise, and you're going to say to us, "I'm going to say Purple. You're in the know of superheroes. Can you give us a superhero franchise you think will sell well?" What would you say?
Superhero franchise that I think would sell well. I don't know. It depends on what like just what's who's my gaming audience.
Sony fanboys.
Sony fanboys. I don't know. Well, you know, I
Because I feel they've done great with Spider-Man and then bringing in the idea of a Wolverine in a future franchise. I feel like that's two, great characters right there. And I don't feel you can match that, especially from the Marvel universe.
So here's what I would say. Why couldn't we take something? Okay, so we think about the Marvel universe, we think about the DC universe, right? But there's actually other comic universes, right?
Yeah.
Like, so why couldn't we take a character from one of those other universes?
Well, that's why I asked you a question, just in case you knew all these other franchises.
No, I'm saying like I would want to explore it. I would say give me something that people haven't seen. So there's like a.
I mean, to me, I love Sony doing Infamous. I loved Infamous 1, 2, and Second Son, and I would wish they carried on with this sort of mutant superhero franchise, but it didn't click on as much as they would see a franchise already established in like sort of the Marvel DC universe. So that's why Sony bought the rights or worked with the rights to have this character. But yeah, I would definitely want to go back to Infamous.
No, I'm trying to think of the game I would trying to think of the comic I'm thinking of right now that I would love to see in a game because I think it's an amazing story and I want to see something different. Just give me a second. Kill or be killed. Kill or be killed. I want to see that in a video game. I think that's an amazing comic series. I want to see that in a video game. I want to see that come to life. I want to see stories that mean something.
I've never read Kill or Be Killed.
What are you talking about, Holt? You need everybody right now. Look up Kill or Be Killed. It's an amazing story.
The only
Hey,
time,
Rudix, what's up? Well,
the only
52.
time I've actually heard "Kill or Be Killed" is from a Muse song.
No, it's Kill or Be Killed. Yeah, Kill or Be Killed. It's a comic book series, and it's really, really good. I think it's great.
Was it
I'm not
from,
going to say it's a superhero, but I think like I want to see that type of story.
is this from your childhood, the 1980s?
No, this is like a modern one.
Oh, okay.
That's like a modern one. Like I've been um doing a lot of stuff. Hey, Rudix, Marzilla has such a huge draw. I get it, but I want to hear. I want to see something new. Hey, David Wilson, what's going on? Just talking about. I'm ready. No, not going to be a 4-hour stream. Not tonight. We're just talking about what we would like to see in comics in the series and stuff. And I'm saying like I would like to see a new story.
I would love to see a Boys TV show.
Which one?
From the TV show The Boys.
Yeah.
I would love to see a franchise based around that, where the superheroes are a bunch of sort of anti-villain pricks, should I say, and you're just a normal human that has to scrounge together to beat them. I think that I would like to see that.
No, The Boys wouldn't be too bad. Umbrella Academy, what about that?
Oh, I love Umbrella. Yeah, I'll do Umbrella Academy any day. Doom Patrol. I would love Doom Patrol as well.
I haven't seen that one. But you see, like I want to see these stories. I think that's the thing right now. I think gaming is going down a familiar path, but I think there's a lot of stories, a lot of like superheroes that have like that aren't super and stuff.
Is Umbrella Academy still Dark Horse?
Dark Horse Comics.
Is that the same publisher?
Let me check. But Holtz, I promised Obi he was only going to get a few minutes when he comes on because he has the baby. So we're going to click over to him, and then we're going to continue this Umbrella Academy. We got the mic working, though. Got the mic working. So, all right, Obi, I'm coming to you because I know you only have a few minutes with us.
So, first and foremost, shout out to Holtz. Holtz, thank you for allowing me to step in this little fragment of time, man. It means a lot to me. Thank you, bro. Thank you so much. Purple, what's going on with you?
I don't know. We're trying to find out about superheroes right now. Holtz says,
all right,
The Boys.
So real quick, I got to walk this back.
Spawn.
I want to walk back. I think I understand what Holtz is trying to say. He's actually talking about something that's actually I was thinking about a while ago. So as I remember it, and I'm not saying that he's wrong, but as I remember it, I would say it was 3 games back in like the mid 2000s. Well, like 3 or 4 games back in the mid 2000s that kind of gave you those quick time events. Games that we know, such as Max Payne, Devil May Cry, God of War, and Prince of Persia. The ultimate one being Prince of Persia, honestly, because I'm sorry, not Prince of Persia, God of War, because that had like the best quick time events. You're fighting these larger than life bosses. Well, then obviously you get God of War 2, you get God of War 3, and in between God of War 2 and 3, that's when you start getting the Infamouses and those other types of games that took those building blocks and said, we're going to put these quick time events in our games. Same thing with Arkham, which is where he said Spider-Man kind of plays like Arkham. Now I understand that, but I think why everybody goes bananas, at least if you're a PlayStation fan. So for me, when I was a kid, it was Spider-Man, like that was after school cartoons. So it's like, yo, who wouldn't want to feel like they were swinging through New York, right? And then I'm from Jersey, so New York's right there. So it's like, oh, this would be cool. Long story short, the way that traversal system is done, Brian Enterwall, and he's like one of the only people whose names I know like in the community because he left that much of an impression on me. He figured it out. He made the successful Spider-Man game. And here's the cool thing about it. He was working on this in a time where people were still putting out bad projects. Yeah, the game came with a day one patch, I believe, but it wasn't horrible. The game was great. People weren't complaining about this. And you literally felt like there was 2 things that made this game great. The traversal and the story. Just gotta say that the traversal and the story pulled on them heartstrings. Like I ain't gonna ruin it if you haven't played it, but yeah. So I'm kind of expecting that for this next one. But yeah, rumor is that you got a PlayStation. So talk to us. Talk to us. Rumors you got a PlayStation.
I am not going to confirm or deny, but y'all know that I am not about ugly consoles. Not in this household. Not in my ministry.
Listen, Holtz, I know she sent you the friend request, bro. Come on, man. Come on, Holtz. Hook a brother
Not
up
in-
with the
not in
hook a
my
brother up with the name, man. Come on. Can you imagine tomorrow? Everybody's on Twitter. Purple got a PlayStation. Yup.
No, look,
She
look. But
pre-ordered
I
the
will
Spider-Man bundle.
I will get a PlayStation. I will get a PlayStation, and when I do, I'm gonna make a video about me unpacking, just like I made like my video when I got all the Zelda gear. I'm gonna make one for the PlayStation when I officially do it, and I may even troll people. I may even be like die-hard Xbox fan, plays PlayStation.
That would be great. I'm like, I would be like, yo,
anybody who knows me would be like, Purple. But I may just do it just to like do it.
Oh man. All right, real quick, before I get out of here, I gotta ask you like one question and one question only. Yo, what is up with this rumor? The Nintendo dude came out and was like, they're gonna stop making Nintendo games for the Switch early 2025, I think the article said. And I'm like, man, are we getting a Nintendo Switch 2? Is that confirmation? So I don't know if you saw it, and if you did, what are your thoughts on it? But if you didn't,
I've said I think we're going to get in the next year, 12 months, 10 months really. We're gonna get confirmation of the next generation Nintendo. Like I'm almost positive of this. Okay. What I also believe, and this is what I think is going to blow people's mind, because it's Nintendo. I think it's going to have backwards capability. And so
it almost would have to, right? Because think about it, right? Like half those. All right, so I don't think it's going to launch with like Super Mario or with a new Mario Kart. So like, there's people who are like, yo, I want to play Mario Kart 8. Mario Kart 8.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I think we will get and I think it's gonna be like I don't know. I think we are gonna get I said that before. I think Nintendo would be dumb not to capitalize on its network of current Switch owners. And they don't have to do too much. Like if what Bobby Kotick said was right, which is like it has the power of a PlayStation 4 or a Xbox One, I think that's okay. Like
I would just want to see a Mario game with like the power, because when I hear that, I'm assuming like all their games are gonna look like, I don't know, Spider-Man, right? Or I'm trying to think, or like God of War, PS4, right? I'm like, yo, these get so like, I'm like in my head, I'm like, I can see Mario like almost larger than life, like Kratos, and then Luigi. What does that Bowser look like? But I don't know if that's what it's gonna look like. So
I mean, I just think it's going to be, like I said, Nintendo's on another level. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just waiting for the Nintendo Cruise Line. I'm waiting for a Nintendo Cruise Line.
I almost said, don't they have that? And immediately my brain went to Disney. I'm like, wait a minute. That's a mouse. That's not the plumber.
Yeah, it's not. No, but if they have a Nintendo Cruise Line, like I would probably...
that would be insane.
Probably go on it just to. That
would be literally insane. All right, well, listen, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna return it back to host, but I want to thank you. Hey, and thanks for showing up earlier. Yo, that was awesome. Yo, you got to come do that again.
No, everybody, Obi Rose and Obi's Cantina Fight Club stuff.
I was saying, the next time you come, because we know, Pauls, we know you have a PlayStation 5. So the next time you show up, we're going to need you to be ready to fight in Mortal Kombat, because I know secretly you are labbing that game.
Maybe. We'll see.
She can't confirm or deny. She got the PlayStation. I like Sanchez says, I'm okay with Purple getting a PlayStation 7.
Potentially.
Oh, man.
We'll see. All
right.
Shout out to Sanchez. Haven't seen Sanchez in a second. So glad he's in chat. And shout out to Jeff Janak with the 4-hour stream last week. Happy birthday, Jeff. And Obi Rose, thank you again for joining and doing your thing on your show. Always bringing the energy on Thursday and going out and getting that shirt, Dad's.
Listen,
best
I'm working.
Dad.
Listen,
best dad shirt.
Listen, I'm telling everybody right now, if you don't have kids, wait to have them. But when you have them all right away. Like just get it all out the way, because you get used to this thing called sleep. And now there's no thing as like sleep. It's just more or less like you're always on the edge, about to like fall off the cliff, and then you're up. And then there's coffee, and then you realize that coffee doesn't help. You hate the way coffee tastes. It's just routine. It's a habitual habit at this point. So what do? You add more sugar. Oh, maybe the sugar does it. Okay, there's instant diabetes. like the list gets better and better and better. And all this because you said at an altar, I do. Like, this is wild, right? Like, who would have thought? You would think somebody would pull you aside, be like, hey, listen, you're not going to be able to play video games all the time. Like, you can't watch what you want to watch sometimes. Like, you got to share the hot water sometimes. Like, come on, man. It's like little stuff like that, you know? Somebody should write a book about this stuff. That's all I got to say. I won't do it because I'm not getting killed over it. But somebody should write a book that is like worthy of like a full squint. You know, like by the time you get to like chapter 5, like your right eye's like, ah. Then when you get to like chapter 10, you're like, ah. And you see, you got to look at things like levels of squints. 1 eye, 2 eye, or full eye squint. That's how you gotta do it. All right, I gotta get out of here. I gotta go. Help out before I get like beat up or something. Hey, thanks. Hey, Holt, shout out, bro. Thanks, I appreciate it, brother.
Bring Holt up. Thanks.
Y'all have a good one. Base.
We'll bring on Holt again. Hey, what's going on, Holt?
Always great to see Obi. And I want to say, Obi, you're right. I have seen Purple's PlayStation 5. Let me tell you this, guys. You have not seen. You never got it from me, but it's very slim, tight, jade green. You know, Jade from Mortal Kombat. She's got it in jade green, slim, tight. It actually looks good. So when she comes to the Mortal Kombat competition, don't be afraid of her. It's there. It's customized.
It's there.
She loves Jade character. That's what it's based on.
That's my girl. Girl, Jade. So
when she puts us all to shame in Mortal Kombat with her fancy controller and console.
Oh my goodness. No, we shall see. Like I said, y'all will know because I am going to make a video. And it's going to say, title's going to be ridiculous. It's going to be like lifelong Xbox fan girl falls in love with PlayStation after.
No, name it thick as hell, but makes it look sleek. That's what I
may get a different crowd with that one. But yeah, sure. But as long as I get the subscribers, right? That's all that matters.
As long as you have to click and likes, that's all that matters. But yeah, Nintendo Switch 2. I remember reading an article a few years ago, and I was, because I bought a lot of Nintendo. We've all bought a lot of Nintendo games through the last decades, and we keep on buying the same game. I remember when the Switch came out, I read an article that Nintendo was promising, it might not deliver, but the idea, they were promising that it will all be unified from going forward. They're going to unify their storefront, that anything bought on the Switch era is going towards the next iterations of devices. Now, this is not being fully confirmed. It was only like, an idea or something like that. And I've latched onto that idea, and I thought to myself, well, why can't my games become backwards compatible digitally that I've bought on the Switch going forward in another Switch iteration? Now, I don't mind paying an extra few dollars more to have it rendered in a better quality. But I would like the idea is that if I already own it, please put it to a service that emulates it or at least backwards compatible on the device.
No, and I think that's what they're going to do. I think they have 125 million people, 130 million people, and I think what they've found, right? Because they're always experimenting, and I think what they're going to just do is like, if you want a higher fidelity of a game, they're just going to give you a higher, the next one may be 1080p, which I think would be amazing, right? Like if you're doing 1080p, not docked or whatnot, and then you can still you up level when it's docked on the TV. I think
I've got over 80 games on my Switch, and if they charge $10 for the upgrade, that's $800+ right there, right? For if it was upscaled or
And they may not even charge you anything. I think Nintendo just, right now, the name of the game, and this is what I believe all of them are figuring out, the name of the game is to have like an actual ecosystem of players. And so if you're Nintendo, you have 130 million players. 120, 100, I don't know. They have a bunch. That's like Microsoft is having the issue right now. Like they have to try to go get more players. They have to try to buy them from everywhere.
I mean,
it already has them.
I don't really care about backwards compatibility in a sense because I was always moved forward with the next generation of games. But because I read it a few years ago, that's what Nintendo was potentially doing. Then I wanted to stick to that messaging for all the other gamers and bring a legacy because in the end, we can't keep on buying Mario 1 collection, for example, from 30 years ago plus. So in the end, please just bring it to an emulation or bring it to our digital library that we already own.
Yeah, no, I think, like I said, I think what they're going to eventually do, and if you think it, I continue to say, like, they're a gaming company, right? If they don't do well in gaming, they go under. So I think what you're going to probably see from them is they're going to continue to add layers onto Nintendo Online to get all those games that were super popular in the previous consoles. And then anything in the Switch and so forth going forward, they're just going to, they still have your data there, and they're just going to give you that.
So you think they're going to focus on NSO and Nintendo Switch Online, the backwards compatibility of all the other consoles before they actually focus on the digital library that you own?
No, I think it's going to be a new feature. I think like they're not good. Like I don't think they have the way to say like, hey, you had a GameCube, right? Here is.
No, I mean, since I mentioned it, I think it's going to start from Switch at least.
Yeah, exactly. I think the backwards compatibility, if you bought the game, it's going to start from the Switch, but they're going to use Nintendo Online to basically give you like the top of each of those prior generations of Nintendo, like they've already done with the NES and the SNES. You like that? I translated SNES for you. Well, you said SNES.
Oh, you remember SNES and
I feel super.
I remember you still a year down the line. Every time you hear someone say that, and I showed you the article. I showed you what NES. You said NES, SNES, and remember it still brings a smile after a year and a half. You're like,
SNES. The SNES. And Jeff does have a GameCube, y'all. I watch Jeff every Friday doing retro gaming.
Does he mention, from a Canadian point of view, does he mention NES or SNES, or is it only just me and Mr. Bayer in place?
I don't know if we talked about Nintendo when Jeff talks. Jeff usually talks about PlayStation 2. That's what I see him playing from. Jeff, what is it? Is it SNES, Super NES, Super Nintendo, SNES? I don't know what Jeff calls it. About the Switch Online layer because you do pay more to pay the backwards compatibility, like the Sega port. Yeah, Obi Rose, I'm telling you, Nintendo knows what they're doing. That's all I gotta say. Nintendo knows what they're doing with gaming, and they can charge it. And it continues. $20 for Nintendo Switch Online to play online. I pay it. I pay it just for the F-Zero game. Have you played that, Holtz?
Yeah, I played that.
It's the one that just came out like last month, the F-Zero 99.
No.
Oh my gosh, it's addicting. That game is addicting. I didn't think it was going to be addicting. That game is addicting. Because it's such an easy concept. And I don't even like racing games. I don't really consider F-Zero a racing game as much as like a survival game. But it's super, super addicting. And it's free with the Super Nintendo Online subscription. I think it's great.
I've actually got the family Nintendo Switch Online. I really like the idea of backwards compatible. I've not actually played any backwards compatible games in the whole.
Everybody likes the idea, but they don't. This is everyone. The typical gamer. I want this. They give it to you, and then you don't actually play it.
What did I say a few weeks ago? We asked for it, we whine about it, and
And then they give it to you, and they don't. It's the whole thing with Stadia. They literally gave you a console where you could use any controller. You could play it like anywhere. I don't want it. I don't use it.
I mean, I still want this this cruise liner you're talking about.
What's that? For Nintendo?
Yeah, of course, of course. I see why not. Peach, Samus, Bayonetta. Oh, good day. We have to talk about other characters. Oh, okay.
I'm telling you, Nintendo, it's coming. I'm telling you, like, they already have the theme parks.
I'm planning to visit Osaka soon. Too
The
soon.
Nintendo one there.
Yes.
So they say it's similar to the one in LA, and I haven't been to the one in LA.
There's one.
Uh,
I didn't even know there was one in LA.
yeah, there's one in LA. It opened earlier this year.
Yeah, Osaka versus.
Yeah, no, the Sako one's the first one, but I'm hoping they add on like I don't know. I just think I see a lot of possibilities there. I'm more of a casual. Ross, you're not a casual gamer. You're a limited. Jeff is unlimited because Cowboy was the unlimited gamer.
We're all casual.
Casual gamer, unlimited gamer. We have all sorts of gamers out there. But no, I think
I couldn't define myself as a gamer. There's too many definitions. There's too many definitions. So when I talk to people, someone could actually talk about their pedigree, they've got a history, they're an extreme gamer, and I'm all these terminologies. I'm like,
I think I'm an eclectic gamer. I'm a convenient, eclectic gamer.
A collective, convenient gamer.
No, eclectic.
A collective.
An eclectic.
Okay, I have to explain that one. Eclectic.
Eclectic. I'm saying the word right?
I'm not sure. You're American. I'll just nod.
Yes. This word. Eclectic.
Eclectic.
Yeah, this word.
Read the definition.
It's right here. Here it is. This type of gamer. I'm going to put it in chat right now. Coming to you right now into chat. Yeah. You just not understand English. Thank you, Jeff. Like I thought I was saying it right. Eclectic. It's spelled like this. I literally looked it up. Eclectic.
Listen, every game is from a diverse source. You can load Assassin's Creed that's saying exactly that same message.
Assassin's Creed. Sanchez is playing Assassin's Creed. I want to jump into it, but it seems like it's going to be a holiday game for me.
I bought 3 games today.
Which 3?
I bought Assassin's Creed Mirage. I bought that because I had the GFN news. It came on today, so I bought that via Ubisoft Connect. I bought Motorsports. Forza Motorsports. I bought that the premium edition, so I can play on my Xbox for a bit until it actually comes on, the standard release. And I bought Disgaea 7, so I can play it on Steam Deck and GeForce Now.
Which one? What's the third one?
Disgaea 7.
I don't know that one.
Oh, this. The
7 games? No, I was telling Obi Rose.
The Disgaea series is one of my.
Disgaea?
Disgaea. Disgaea. Disgaea.
What?
Disgaea.
Oh, it's one of those words. I hate those words that have an AEA. That's not even a thing.
Disgaea. You can Disgaea.
Vows of the Virtuous 7.
These are one of my favorite franchise of games. For like 50 hours, I'm in heaps of laughter.
It seems like what's it? It's TK9 type of game.
Oh yeah, well this game, you have to have a sense of humor, so a lot go with it. But what happens was it's a turn-based STS.
Turn-based.
And the whole point is it's set in like Netherrealm, the underrealm of like a demonic realm, and you got the most bizarre characters you ever imagine in anything that you ever see, like gaming or anime or whatever. And you see from the word go, you're laughing all the way to the end. And
this guy, Colts. I see. I don't even have. See, I am playing Diablo 4, which I may be beating with Rouster this weekend. I might be beating it.
I've got Disgaeas on other platforms, but I've got Disgaea 5 and 6 on my Switch, and it just complemented the handheld
It
feel.
looks like a Switch type of game.
And it was on Switch. It is on Switch, and it's been in Japan a lot, a few months. But I actually bought it on Steam, so I actually get access to it on GeForce now. So I bought it today. I've not played it yet, but I'm definitely gonna be laughing.
Interesting. It's not on Xbox, but it's on PlayStation. That's interesting.
Well, NIS America seem to favourite PlayStation or Nintendo over Xbox in this sense.
That's interesting.
I don't know why, because if I was Game Pass, this is a franchise that I would actually get. I mean, Game Pass literally got a lot of franchises from Sega, especially the Yakuza franchises and stuff like that.
Well, I think maybe they don't want. So that's the thing. I think what we're seeing is because it's a $60 game, right? So they probably want a lot of money for this game to be.
But the way I see it is, I heard there was a growth in the sort of Asian market, the Japanese market. So is that because Game Pass is buying games from Sega and stuff like that to join Game Pass, and that's what is actually bulking up the success of Xbox? So if you wanted to carry on that momentum, Disgaea 7 would have been a win-win. I mean, they probably tried. Maybe they asked too much, but
I don't know. Like I said, I continue
because you know what I mean. Game Pass with Yakuzas and Personas. If they ever got Disgaeas, I'd be like, take my money. Well, you've always got my money, but I'd be like, take it forever. Just.
But see, I think what they're gonna find, like, I think they may want too much for it. Like, I think that's the thing. A lot of game companies also see the Game Pass model as not their what's the word I'm looking for? It messes up their business model.
Could be. But you know, Disgaea is we're on 7 iterations plus. Definitely a franchise,
Yeah. So if you're already on Disgaea 7, why are you going to mess that up?
Especially for Switch. Definitely get on Switch. It's perfect.
No, yeah. Like, why would you mess up what's working? That's the whole thing. Like, if it's working for you, why break it?
Mm-hmm. But if you ever want the most bizarre soundtracks, some lovable characters, quick characters,
Disgaea 7.
No, all the Disgaeas. If you ever want like a turn-based, a real game that uses your brain to actually win the battle, definitely Disgaeas. It's long, it's grindy, puts people off, but if you like the idea of it, it's definitely.
We'll see. Like I said, I was telling Obi Rose earlier, I'm playing Diablo 4, playing that with Rouster. I am playing. I still have not beat Remnant 2. I probably will beat that when the DLC comes out. I started Cyberpunk. And obviously I'm streaming this mystery game, Dragon, which I'll probably beat this weekend. And then there's a couple of like smaller, like other games I'm playing.
Well, I've seen a lot of complaints about Forza Motorsport today. You know, a lot of glitches, a lot of fatality issues and stuff like that. I was playing it today, and I had no issues at all. So I think it's glitch based, or you know.
I don't understand how anybody can have an issue with I was talking to Doc Dark went live with his son Juju, his youngest son, earlier today, and I was saying I think Forza is going to look the same as the old Forza, or similar because.
Well, I do see it similar because I don't feel like you hit a pinnacle of graphics until you move on to generations. And I feel like when I look at this game, I see like it looks similar to the old one or PlayStation Gran Turismo 7, unless you add the added effect of like PSVR 2. But the idea is I was playing today and I switched it to 4K, ray tracing, 30 frames, Dolby Vision, and the game looked gorgeous. Now, people might say, I never pick the frames over and resolution over ray tracing or HDR and stuff like that. But I put it on my standards. Game looked great. No issues, no problems.
Lester's in chat, and no, Obi, I'm not playing Diablo 4 on PlayStation.
The only issue that I forgot. I love playing Forzas. I love playing car games. I haven't got a clue what cars are the best at. I just love the mechanics of car games. I just like buying a car that I need to win that race, and off I go. don't really pay attention to what's in my garage. I don't really pay attention to fine tuning anymore since the days of like Need for Speed. And I was playing Forza Motorsport, and what I'm used to is picking a car, win a race, get XP, CP, move on. And this time I was playing a tutorial for about an hour, and it went, tune your car, level your car the way you want. I was like, no, this is not what I want. It's too much.
You just want an arcadey type of racer.
No,
just like get in and go.
I love simulating games, simulation. But the problem is in simulation, you can fine tune and stuff like that, but it's not part. That's due to your playstyle taste. This is win a race, get CP, customize the car to a certain level, and fine tune it. And you can always bring the car into extra ranks. And to me, I was like, that's too much. I was like, old car, buy a new car, carry on with progression. And now it's like, no, we want you to focus on the car that you like and fine tune it. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm glad there's an X, you can press X to sort of automatic tune, but I'm like, I haven't got time to start realizing power steering, flywheel.
I don't even know. I just
Wait.
Well, racing car games like in hey Lester, how are you? I want to know if what are you playing, Lester? You're always someone on Xbox who has way more points than I do. But I don't play racing games. Like I was telling Sour Blow this when I first came on to Sour Blow's Xbox International show. They asked me, "Am I like what do I play on Xbox?" And they said racing games, fighting games, or shooters. I was like, none. I don't play racing games. Like I'd rather just drive the car. Like that's how the type of person I am. Like I would rather just go in, drive the car.
I don't like the competitiveness of racing anymore. I don't like that. I just like to put a podcast on, some music, sit there, not really paying attention. I'm just going boom, boom.
See, I would rather just go hop in a car, and then just do the same thing. Like I don't.
Is that the way you see it? Is it not you can race like that? That's like saying you might as well go to the shooting range and shoot some guns. You might as well climb someone.
Kinda.
You might as well climb a wall and pretend you're Mario. Okay, I get your pair.
No. I think Mario has like this like for one, I don't really play Mario because y'all know my thing with Mario and Zelda. But like I like to go into worlds in the story, in the puzzle, and so forth. But if it's going to be a racing game, I would rather just like go to the track. And you could do this a couple ways. You take your own car to the track. You go rent a car to the track.
You can rent a car to your track depending on your license. Don't tell me you can just get in a fast car and off you go.
You can.
No.
Depending on the track, you can definitely do this.
Is that insurance bound?
Depending on the track, usually what happens, you go there, they do like some type of, it's like a little package. You do something where it's like, hey, 1 hour worth of class and then 2 hours of driving.
Not works well with a little package. Just get that out the window.
Or you just go test drive the car. Like that's the other thing you can do.
No, just test driving in the local area with potholes and all that on the floor.
No, they don't. Like if you go out, I'm telling you, if you go out to the place and you're looking and you're like, I really just want to test drive this.
Okay, right. So if I said to you,
they take you out and they let you just go.
If I said to you, well, Purple, here's like the 5-6 cars you can pick in Forza Motorsport from like 2018 line, because we have to have a entry level. And I said to you, could you race them round the track without your premium of your insurance or anything else? And you have to say to me, halt, of course I can. If it's not, it's invalid.
Your premium doesn't go up because it's not your insurance, right? Because it's depending on what car it is, right? So there are tracks where you can take your car and you can go there and you pay a fee and you can just drive your car, right? You just take it and you just go on. There are tracks that are then what they call driving club tracks, right? Where it's like you could do the car and usually these are together and they'll have other cars you can drive. Then there are tracks that are specific for certain brands. So I know like the Porsche track, right? I know Porsche really well. Their track.
So what's the speed limit of motorway intersection by your area?
Wait, on a track?
No, what's the speed limit?
What's
of
the speed limit?
Yeah, on an intersection.
What, it depends on what state.
Okay, the state you live in,
New York,
New York. What's New York limit?
70 miles per hour.
Okay,
Like,
70
depends
miles.
on where you're.
That's it.
But,
You
but
can't
but
go.
if you go test out a car, so if
You
you
can't go
go,
140.
you
200.
can definitely go 120. I went on a test drive of a car because they tell you to do it. They when they go and tell you to go test drive a car, they have their own little thing for you to go to. And all like the police aren't there or anyone because they know you're about to like potentially buy this really nice sports car if
No,
that's
I'm
what you're
not
looking at.
talking about potentially buying. I'm
And
trying to
they
say,
tell you to put your foot into, they tell you to go all the way.
that
I've
sounds.
done this many times. Hey, thank you, Sanchez, for watching me on the tablet. It's your insurance. You don't sign a clause that says if you get hurt, you can't. Exactly. You do. It's
I'm
there.
talking like, for example, Pepper says she doesn't play Forza Motorsport because she can go 200 miles an hour on a racetrack.
I don't even have to go 200 miles. So Lester, I'm playing Diablo 4 right now. But no, I'm just saying, like, I don't play racing games because I'd rather just go drive the car. Like, I don't understand why that is a controversial statement. I don't. It's
I just feel bizarre. Like you can just sit there and go, okay, my driving license allows me to go and drive this sports car that you see in Forza Motorsport or Gran Turismo 7, and you go, okay, I don't want to play this franchise because I'm going to take this leading car and I'm going to drive 140 miles.
I'm telling, look, if there's a car you really like, and you said it, you said it. You said what I like to do is I like to just go buy the car, and then that's the car. I don't even know what's in my garage. That's what you said. I'm taking your words, not mine. This is what you said.
Holtz doesn't have a clue about brands of cars. I just look at the stats.
So you don't have to know anything about other cars too. And if you can see that's the car, then you can say, hey, let me go drive. Let me go see where this car is. I want to test drive it.
It just blows my mind. The idea is that you've got like a citizen. I mean, you might have a military license to drive vehicles. I don't know, but what I'm trying to think of, the idea is you've got a certain driving license and you can just go and rent this sports car that costs more than our salaries, and you can go and drive it without any.
Here's the secret, Holtz. Here's the secret. All right. This is to everybody else. When you go in one of these places, see, because they're like you'll be surprised. Like they put on this air, like they're all snooty and they're all uppity. But when you go in, they're not used to people just walking in and saying, "Let me just try test drive or whatever." They know that when you come in, you're actually there to see, like, yo, what is this car like? They're gonna take your license. They're gonna say, "Hey, okay, you have a valid driver's license." They're gonna make you sign a few pieces of paper. They're gonna ask you to like hold on to your keys or something. And then they're going to be all right. And then they're going to take you out. And then they're going to drive first. And then they take you to this little spot. All of them do this. I've done this with some of the most expensive sports cars you can buy in the U.S.
Okay.
And then they take you, and then they're like, all right. And they look over and they're like, all right, you want to drive? And then you're like, and you're like, I can drive it. And they're like, yeah, why don't you go? And then you drive. Like the next time, and that in itself,
okay,
once you've done that, you don't want to play. You don't want to. Why do you want to do a sports car game?
That is correct. Okay, in that situation, I just thought the average person could do that, but you've explained it is viable. Next time, when I go to Japan, I'm going to play Mario Kart around the streets of Tokyo, and then I never need to play Mario Kart again because I'm in a little go-kart.
That's a different game. But I'm saying when it comes to like a Forza or Gran Turismo, I would rather not.
Same thing. I'll sit there. I'll go around the court in Mario Kart in Tokyo, and I'll throw banana peels, and I'll be like, "Who needs to play Mario ever again?" I'm playing it. Hey.
I'm just saying. I don't understand racing car. Like I would rather, like I said, once you or
okay.
Just,
so I heard you from a military background. You know, you've been in the military.
Yeah.
I've actually heard that a few military people actually don't like certain types of shooting games because you know it's not for their taste because of their military backgrounds or it's not their style of play, for example. So is that the same for shooters? Do you ever feel like because you've been in the military, you don't like military shooters, or is it just car related?
So shooters for a couple of things. My reflexes aren't as good in shooters, so they're just not as fun. Unless I'm doing like a Rainbow Six where I'm on a team.
Well,
So
one time like you've been from a background where you're used to sort of weapons and warfare and stuff
weapons
like
and
that.
guns and cleaning guns. When you go to the range, you always have to clean the gun.
So
Uh,
would you say ranges and training and stuff takes away from shooting games?
I don't know. I mean, for me, I just don't see the point in shooting games. Like they just don't have anything that I like in games. Right? Like think about it. Like what do I like in games? I like certain things. I like an art style, like or and that could be the music or that could be the visuals. I like kind of this idea of like a freedom of movement. Generally I like third person because I like the storytelling. I like the story. I sometimes like a puzzle mechanic to a game. Like if you take everything that I like in games, like shooting games kind of offer none of that. So I think that's where I look at shooting games. I don't even think it has to do with being in the military, like former in the military. That was like,
No, I'm just trying to say it takes away the element away from it. So like you said, you can race, like car games. You can go to a shooting range, takes the idea of shooting. You've been in the military, you like military shooters. For example, I'm trying to say, does it dilute the experience of gaming if you've already done it or you can experience it?
yeah, I 100% believe it.
So you wouldn't need VR to experience racing or a shooting range, for example, because you've already done it, tried it, you know what? So in the end, VR wouldn't hook you, or you sit there and you think it's
VR? No, I think VR would be really cool for me to experience. Like something I can't, to your point, yeah, something I can't do. Like let me go explore Pandora from Avatar. Like let me go explore that. Let me go like open, like do that. I can't do that. So yeah, something like VR would be kind of cool. But I think like, yeah, a lot of games to me are just not.
I wonder, like, does a footballer play football games or soccer games? Does a fighter, does an MMA fighter, do they play MMA games? I'm curious if they're already trained in it, they wouldn't play them games. Does a
No, I
wrestler?
think so. I think, but that's the thing. I think why football players. So right. I've dated, like I've dated people before, right? Way back
So,
when
so, so you wouldn't play.
Walter Payton
So
was
you wouldn't play a dating simulator
no.
because
No,
you
no,
already
because
dated.
I don't want to do that. But no, but I think people who like football games or fighting games, like they play games for something else. They like competing. And if you tell them, like, hey, do you have an option to like play or play the video game? They're going to say, I like to play, but they usually play the video game on their off season when all they're doing is lifting weights and they don't have a way to compete. They don't have a way to get that aggression out or to get that feeling of competition. So yeah, I think yeah, football players going to say like no, but like or if they are playing during the season, it's like a time for them to like get their mind off something that's what they like to do. But I think they play games for a different reason than I play games. I want a dating similar game on Xbox. You did, Rouster. Which one? Love is Blind just came to Netflix gaming. What? Love is Blind? Nothing. Just hey. You like scary games? Which are scary to people like Rudix who watches? I don't even play scary games really. I play disturbing games. I haven't played a scary one in a long time.
I want to play Eta Knights.
Which one? Wait, which game? Quest 3? I don't know. What is Quest 3? The VR thing?
Quest 3 is new one by MetaQuest. Meta.
I don't think so. I'm not into Mr. Urban World. If he's still in chat, he's really into VR, right? I think for me, it's still not where I would want it to be. It's just not convenient. Like I would rather like read a book than play VR. Does that make sense?
Someone's got a good imagination. I'm a visual person, not actually. I'm crap at imagination.
I have an amazing. I love my imagination.
My friend, he's like, oh, I can read this book and I can imagine that I'm in the realm of this book and stuff like that. And I'm like, I just need the director or the author just to put something on screen. And they go, wow, that's what he meant by that dragon. That's what he meant by that character. That's how I'm a visual stimulating person, not actually.
See, I'm a thinker. Rudix, if you wanna have this debate about a remake versus remaster, come on to Shades of Purple. The link is there. We will bite. We will bite. Remake versus remaster. He keeps going at this. He's been proven wrong time and time again. And if he wants the smoke, as the kids say, you want the smoke.
No, the kids don't smoke these days. They vape. So do you want the vape?
You want the vape?
Do you want the vape?
I'll keep it a buck, as they say. I'll keep it a buck with you, Rudix.
That's a buck.
A buck. I'll keep it a buck. It's like the language. It's like it's like West Coast. I'll keep it a buck.
I knew a buck, but he was at O'Hare.
And that's like a buck, like BUCK. Keep it a buck.
Okay, what's a buck? Yeah, explain what a buck is.
Like a buck? It's like them saying, like, I'll keep it. It's like true. Like, I'll keep it really straight with you. I'm going to be really honest with you. Because they're saying, like, instead of saying, like, because they used to say a few years ago, like, I keep it 100. Like, they used to say like that. So then they just shortened it, because if you have 100 cents, you have a buck. So they're like, I'll just keep it a buck. Like,
all I know is chickens say that word.
Chicken salad?
Chickens say that word.
Chicken salad?
No.
What's chicken salad?
Chickens say that word.
Chicken?
When you wash out, you back away from stuff. Yeah. You call it chicken.
Keep it a buck. Yeah, Obi, you heard it, right? Keep it a buck.
It's a joke.
You gotta keep it a buck.
Do you know why chickens say that? Because they go, bah, bah, bah.
Nah, you got... I have other things. I gotta keep up with the kids nowadays.
Yeah.
Gotta call some. I'll jump on if you're still up, but I would like to bring this debate back for sure, because it's lost its origins. Rudix, it hasn't lost its origins. It's always been the same. But if you want it, let me know, because I got the heat. Mike is cracking. Which one? Mike is cracking, or is Holtz's mic cracking? Is my mic cracking? If y'all let me know if my mic's cracking.
Was it too close?
No, I'm going to keep it a buck for you, Rudix. I'm going to bring the smoke, though. I'm going to bring the smoke. That's what I'm going to bring.
You couldn't even bring smoke in Mortal Kombat.
Oh, your mic is cracking, Holtz. Your mic is cracking. That's what they're saying. Bring, I've
been messing around with the idea of like hitting there's a wire actually hitting the mouse. So maybe that's what.
Oh, the wires is messing. Hey Wit, Rudix, he wants the smoke.
So I said you could even bring the smoke in Mortal Kombat.
I could. You could in multiple ways. I see what you did there.
No, that's for the Mortal Kombat fans. She couldn't, could she, Jack? Come on, she couldn't bring the smoke to Mortal Kombat. That was even 30 years ago.
I see what you're doing.
And that was even 20 years ago. She couldn't bring the smoke. Hip with the kids.
I see what you're doing. Play on words with the characters. Sounds better. Got it. Yeah, he did, Cam. Cammy, how are you? By the way, I know you were streaming the other week. I was there for a little bit, and then you hopped off. But how are you, Cammy? I haven't seen you in a while. So many people I haven't seen in a while. Sanchez came by. Cammy's came by. But yeah. So if Rudix comes on, Holtz, we're gonna keep it a buck with him. We're just gonna tell them how it is.
So straight
Okay, just
shooting,
chilling.
that's a book. That's a book. I mean, what's a book? I mean, a book sounds to me like currency, a book note, whatever it is.
No,
But
it is like currency. It is like currency. You say it like that, a buck. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
But don't you have a book meaning the animal? Isn't like a book supposed to be like some kind of?
Yeah, like the U.S. English, we use like several words mean like the same thing. Like, I mean, we have several words that mean totally different things. Like, so you could have like the Milwaukee Bucks, so that's a buck. You could have like a buck, like $1. You could have like Uncle Buck, like that's John Candy's character.
Yeah, I know who Uncle Buck is. Great character.
You have that one. And you have a couple other ones.
So is book short for a male name?
Is a buck short for what?
A male name.
Yeah, I don't know too many women named Buck, if that's what you're asking
No,
for.
I mean, what was it short like? For example, is book short?
Oh, like how, like, what's like Bill and William? You're saying like what is Buck short for?
Yeah, or Dick and Richard.
Dick and Richard is that's the same one. I don't know. It's not in my culture to just randomly name people different things.
Okay.
Like I don't know. Like usually where I'm from, if we give somebody a nickname, we give them like a nickname that's not like an actual name. Like we give them like popcorn or like something like that's a thing. Like totally not like we don't name someone like Josh and Brian. Like that's not my culture. We give them like something.
So anti-popcorn?
Yeah, something. Well, it's usually uncle or cuz, like one of those people, or we call them like just something totally different. But that is like a different U.S. culture than mine,
So there you go.
where we name them just Michael and John. Like, oh, that's just John Michael.
So
what a Christian religious family that one would be.
We've solved the mystery of purple haze. It's like that girl, that chick wears purple. She's Haze and she's purple haze.
Holtz! Someone stepped into the ring. Give me a second, Holtz, and we'll continue this. We'll continue this because I think someone wants. The smoke, Holtz.
Can I just say this? New player has entered.
Let's see. Let's bring this one in. Who is this? Rudix?
Oh. Yeah. Hello. Thanks for having
Rudix.
me.
What is it, Rudix? You come to the shades of purple.
First of all, I want to compliment you on your hair. It's looking fantastic
today.
From one curly hair to another.
You bring it all the time. So.
Oh, my hair's a mess right now, so I can't even put it up. And you hit my favorite number for subscribers, so congrats. I see that.
420. Oh, it's it was a little higher and then it came down. I don't know.
I would love to just be at 420 forever.
Aren't you at 420 forever?
Yeah, essentially. It's part of the reason why I'm not on camera, but
oh, no worries.
I had to come on because the origins of this was originally should a remake or remaster win Game of the Year, and then somehow it spiraled. And I know because sometimes I just run my mouth saying nonsense. I know I said remakes and remasters are the same thing. Because essentially, I feel like there's no hard and fast rule that makes a remake or a remaster, and I will stand by that.
Okay, so we have to give up. So y'all. So just so you know, a few months. It was a solid like 4 months ago, Rudix, right? It was 4 or 5 months ago. It was like in the spring.
Quite possibly.
It was a while ago. Cowboy, as y'all know, and your mama knows, did a poll, and it was just I don't even think we had a game in mind. But the poll was, can a make win Game of the Year? And so I took, and Rudix, correct me if I'm wrong, but I took the stance like, yeah, if a movie can be remade and win Movie of the Year, my logic was like, yes, in theory, a game that is remade could win Game of the Year. Now, Rudix, for his contributions to the conversation, had said, no, there is no difference if a regame is Well, you were saying no, it can't, because you're like, when it originally came out, that's the year it came out. So
Yes, because the aspect of a game is the gameplay element. That's what I feel wins Game of the Year. And yes, you can doll up all the other elements, but still at the heart, you are having that gameplay, game mechanics locked and frozen in the time when it originated. That
so
was my argument.
so in that I think that's a fair argument, and I think and I don't think and I said what you described. If it is the same mechanics, the same storyline, I believe I said that is a remaster of a game, right? And then you said no. Well, you're like, no, that's a remake, remaster, and then that's when you went on the tirade of this is all the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah, because I feel as if a remake and a remaster do not follow hard and fast rules. I mean, we're coming out with a rebirth next year. Like, that's not even a remake or a remaster for Final Fantasy VII Part 2. So, Resident Evil does remakes and remasters differently where they add DLC sections. Lots of games are doing, I mean, Rockstar doesn't even care. They just do ports, but I'm trying to think of other examples on hands, but lots of people, they just don't follow the same rules of remakes and remasters. Like, there's
Yes.
no hard and fast rule for it.
So what I would say is, like, I agree with you. I think it's a marketing thing, but I was saying like a true remake, like where they rebuilt the game, just using the same title. To me, that is a remake of the game. They just use the same title, they bring in different elements of a story, different mechanics, different controls. I think some people could call that, they would not be able to call that a remaster. They could call it a remake, and I'm saying in theory, for me, I'm not saying there's a game, right? We never said, hey, this game was going to win Game of the Year. My whole thing was, in theory, if a game was to do that and rebuild it, like Dune, right? If Dune is able to get nominated for game, and this was nominated, this wasn't even to win Game of the Year, this was nominated for Game of the Year. I was like, if Dune could get nominated for Movie of the Year, then theoretically the game should be nominated for Game of the Year.
But in the movie industry, what you appreciate is the actor's performance, the set pieces, the music, all of that evolved through time. And I feel like the same aspects where you're interacting with the medium like you do with gaming, if that fundamental doesn't change, then it's hard to say that it deserves to win an award. I feel like it should be frozen in time. I understand movies being remade.
So
I get.
so like here's theoretically what I'm saying would be like a remade game that could win, that could be nominated, right? So let's say you took on on the regular NES, a game that I really like, Contra, side-scrolling game, okay? And you make Contra like a third-person looter shooter, but you call it Contra, and it follows some of the same kind of like storyline of the original Contra on NES. This is not a remaster, right? They're not up leveling this to be like, that was an 8-bit game. They're not doing like 16-bit, 32-bit. They're like totally rechanging. It's a totally different game mechanic. They put in some totally different music to it. You have probably different bosses, and you have some type of storyline where there's a guy in blue pants and a guy in red pants, and you can co-op and play and just go at it. And they have like some Souls mechanic of a boss, similar to how Remnant is. Totally different game, but it's called Contra. It is from Konami. And they said, we remade the game Contra. Why could that game not be considered Game of the Year if it was that great?
Now that to me bodes more along the lines of a Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And for me, that is a complete reinvention of the game. So that you're changing the way you interact with the game. And for sure that should win. I think Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, the first one, should have been a contender because what they did was they fundamentally changed how you interacted with the game.
So I think what you're saying then is you're you're saying you want clarity on the rules about what's a remake and a remaster. And in order for it potentially to be what I consider a remake. See, I could consider if you build something different, I just say that's a remake. Now, whether or not something's a true remake or not, I don't get into that. But I think Final Fantasy is a true remake. And in that regard, then if I think we're just different, you would say that it's just a rebirth of the game. It's a reinvention. It's a re something else.
It's a fundamentally different game because the gameplay mechanics you're interacting with in your hand have changed. Unlike, say, a Last of Us. Last of Us Part 1, they made one and then they remade it and then they remastered it. And to me, all of that is the exact same. They just
No,
gave me a new set of paint on the
yeah,
same game.
I'm not. So I wouldn't say Last of Us that version. So I think my standard for being a remade game isn't them calling it a remade game. Like I think that could be signaling that you did it, but I think a remade game has to be remade. So I wouldn't say Last of Us is a remade game. I would just say like it's an updated game and it's a remastered game. Like I would say that. Um,
Right. And I feel like we need some sort of standard or seal that says this is a remake or this is a remaster. Because right now it's not clear. It's not clear, I think.
yeah, I agree with you. But again, I was saying in theory what I consider to be a remake, like where you build it from the ground up, right? You don't take any really of the assets. Maybe you take inspiration from the original game and you put it together, right? Just like Dune, they took inspiration from the book series, but they used totally different characters, actors, and music, and just lighting and setting and all sorts of stuff. Same thing in a game. If they were to do that, to me, I think that's fair to call it a remake of the game.
And I would agree with you in that definition. And I wish that we all had that definition clear in place with a little stamp they put on the games that said, this is the purple definition of a
This is
remake.
the purple
This
definition. No,
is the purple seal. And that's how it is. But unfortunately, I just feel like it's marketing and they'll just put remake and
yeah,
remaster like The Last of Us Part 1.
yeah.
The swimming game.
I
Yeah.
think most of them are remasters. Don't get me wrong. I think it's fair to call if you did something different to it, you can call it a remaster. Like I have no, just like I remember when I okay, so Star Wars came out, right? Remember when Star Wars came out? And then like a few years later, they came out with another remaster, and they just keep remastering the game. Sometimes they change the music or the sound. Sometimes they change like the picture quality. Sometimes they add like cut scenes, right? And they always call it like the new remastered edition of Star Wars. Like to me, those are all like it's all the remaster, right? Like you can't tell me that's a remade movie. But I think games many times should be more honest and say, hey, we're a remaster. And I think that's fine because there's a lot of gamers who didn't play the original game that you just remastered. So a perfect example of this is which game? Darksiders, the definitive edition. That is a remastered version of the game. And I didn't play the first one, and I like the second one. And I think I'm okay with them. I think they should just be more honest to your point. I think we agree on.
Yeah, and now to evolve from your point, I'm having a real problem visually. I find it hard to play games that are under 60 FPS because it's
Really?
starting to make me feel like off and woozy. And I feel like once I had the 60 FPS, it's almost impossible to go back down. So I find myself always cranking to performance. I can't do graphics. I have to do GFN and I have to crank it up to 60 FPS. It's kind of like I need a remastered game or it has to come out at 60 FPS for me even to consider playing it now. It's very
So
tough.
you can tell. So Rudix, you're one of those people who, when let's use one of the most controversial games that recently released at 30 FPS. You're one of the people that you refuse to play Starfield at 30 FPS.
I tried to play it and it was very difficult for me. It made me feel woozy until it came out on GFN and I could crank it up and do all the settings and make it look nice and hit it at 60 FPS. I was unable. It was very hard for me to play.
Interesting. I'm with Rouster here. To me, I don't know if I can't. I'm going to tell you this. I cannot tell the difference between 30 and 60. Maybe if you showed me something 60, I'm not saying that of course there's a difference, but I think maybe it's because I'm not playing like first person shooters or racing car
Neither
games.
am I. I played Liza P was the last game I played. I am playing Cyberpunk right now. But Demon Souls before that, all I needed it at 60 FPS. It's almost like it's ruined me because I would like to say, oh, I can't tell the difference, but it's hard for me. I get the motion
You
sickness
game
now.
a lot. And speaking of we have David Wilson in chat. Well, hi, David. Anytime you want, I know it's late
David
over
Wilson.
Hi.
We compared gaming lists this year, and he blew me out of the water.
David
amount of
Wilson,
games he built.
in order to be on his level of gaming, shout out to Wilson. Shout out to the last Stadia Cloud champion. You know, that David Wilson. I think you like in Rudix, you game way more than me. Like there's a couple of you all who game a ton. You, Squids, David Wilson. So for him to have blown you out the water, I don't even want to see it. I don't even want to see the list. I don't want to see it. I'll get destroyed.
Yeah. I definitely should be working more. But I feel like I had a large portion of my life where I did work a lot. I didn't own any consoles. So I'm reaping those rewards now and chilling out.
No, you should definitely, I think, so I think, I've been going through this for the last few years, like focusing on the things that bring me happiness more. That's actually why I got back into gaming. I have Stadia to thank for that. And that's why when people say, I wish, Stadia never came, I'm like, no, it brought me back to something that brings me joy many times. Yeah. No, if gaming's if you can afford the time.
The pursuit of happiness is extremely important. That's why I got back into fitness and went in full time after I finished my studies because that brings me so much happiness. That's why I try to eat right, try to get in vegetables, try to get oatmeal in the morning. Like always try to like be as happy as possible is what I try to go into every day thinking.
No, I love it. I love it. My mom still wants to try your tea.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, the tea. We had 2 runs of the tea. They both sold out within a week. And now I have a meeting tomorrow. And this licensed producer is just being so difficult in terms of not wanting to communicate with me. And I don't understand. Like, you have a brand right now that's selling out. Why would you not want to communicate? Get us all ready for the next submission, but I'm finding myself in the dark before our next submission, and it's a little bit tough, but I soldier on.
You soldier on as well. You have an amazing product, Rudix, amazing team. No, I find working is I don't know. I often find myself in the dark because they always say. That's what I don't like about jobs. I'm going to write a book one day. If you find a job or industry that prides itself on you thriving in ambiguity, I hear that a lot, right? Hear about this thing. You need to thrive in ambiguity. If that's what they tell you, walk away. Because everybody, every day, you have to live through ambiguity. It's like, I already know, like, I have to deal with the unknown all the time. But if someone is trying to tell you, like, hey, we have a job for you, but we don't know what it is, that's the ambiguous part, and you need to thrive through that, I would say, I would tell that person to walk away. That's my controversial take on jobs today.
Yeah, I've sat in some of those meetings where it's just been secrets and
No, it's been
people.
like they don't know. People, it's okay if you don't know, but don't hold a meeting and then make me feel like I'm like it's my problem because I'm not in on the trick that, oh, we all should sound like we know even though we don't know. Like, just don't have the meeting and go figure out what you don't know, or at least go find someone who does know. I don't know. You can't
No,
tell
and
this
then
is
let's be
happening.
real. And
This
then
is,
a week later, somebody's stock jumps way skyrocket high. And I'm like, oh, was that what the meeting was about? What? But
yeah,
they didn't tell us. What?
I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, there's an in crowd and out. Let's see. For me, it doesn't happen like that. Because right, that could be insider trading for me. So for me, it would happen like.
I'm not naming names. I'm very focused.
For me, it would be a little different. Like it would be just like we all come to a meeting. No one really knows what the meeting is about. No one really knows who scheduled the meeting, and everybody's just talking, and they're not really saying anything. And then when you ask, like, so what are the next steps? Or like, so like, hey, let's recenter the conversation. Or like, there's a lot of tactics you use to like, hey, let's up level this conversation a little bit and let's get back to the basics. Right. When you say stuff like that and they look at you like you're an idiot, you shouldn't ask that. That's when I know I've been around too long. I need to go find a new job.
People just meet to
Just meet
below
to
the
meet. That's
clock.
what they do. They just meet to meet and they just want to hear their own voice.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate state. That's why I left my organization. I worked for I think 8 years on the 9 to 5, which is actually 8 to 8, and the overtime gets taxed at a higher rate. Just nonsense meetings about buildings and building codes, and we're not meeting deadlines and change orders. Oh my goodness. But I left for cannabis, the fun and exciting world.
Cannabis, no, hey, that's exciting. It's an industry that is just being tapped. And yeah, I have no idea what these people are paid, David Wilson. Actually, I do, depending on who it is. I can sometimes the financial reports will have it. But I don't. That's the whole thing. I don't know. I don't. The world is an interesting place. That's all I gotta say. That's why I say I can never, unless it's my own company. I can't be a. I don't think I can be a senior exec unless it's my own company, because yeah, I just can't do it.
See, I don't know. You got the curls long. Must have been growing them for a while.
No, I just no, I just want. We have a different curl pattern though. You know, like mine's
Yeah.
more like wavy. You see, like I have the ziggy curls, but you're able to. I think you have like 2 degrees better curl than me.
I wouldn't say better. This is more of a bird's nest, if anything, after a day of not brunching. Never have I learned the importance of a comb more than having long hair.
Importance of the comb. I can only use the comb after I wash it.
Oh, yeah. You can only use it on wet
Yeah.
hair, but I have to do it every day or else it knots right up.
Oh, really? Yeah. So you have a couple more. Mine is a little bit. I mean, I can detangle without wet hair, but
What?
yeah.
What are your secrets?
Well, I'd say I don't think I have. I think you have a little bit more of a tighter curl than me. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Like I think like your curl pattern's a little tighter, but like let's say like tonight, like I'll put, I'll like wrap it a little bit Or maybe not, just put it in a ponytail. And tomorrow, like, yeah, I can detangle, but it wouldn't look like this after detangling. You know what I mean?
What's detangling? What does that mean?
Like detangling, like, like where you like where you separate the hair strands, like you detangle it.
With
Like
your
it's
fingers? Is
yeah,
that a
I
thing people do?
some people can do it and some people can't.
No,
But
I can't do that.
I'm saying like I can detangle my hair when it's not wet and
Oh, really?
yeah,
No,
yeah.
it's impossible. It's
Yeah,
too
it's too
like
thick. It's too thick.
yeah.
Yeah, no, a lot of people can. I'm just saying, like,
Straighten your hair. Oh my gosh, that would look I would have hair down to here easily.
if
That
I
would be too
straightened
much.
it, let's see how far could it go. And I just redid it. Let me see. Yeah, it probably can go
Yeah,
pretty
that's
far.
long. Holy crap.
Yeah, I
No.
could bring it. I could bring it. Yeah, and I just cut my ends like a few weeks ago, so it was like longer. So probably by the holidays, it'll probably be another 2 inches.
Yeah, I
That's
feel
how
like
I.
my hair's almost frozen in time, but it takes it,
Yeah.
it grows so like the length takes a while with this much of curliness.
Hey, King Thrash, how are you? We're just showing hairs. We're
And
just
Tarzan.
Thrash, how are you? We were, talking just comparing things and looking at hair. This is another gamer with amazing curly hair. Do you know King Thrash, Rudix?
I don't believe we've made acquaintances, but
He's
I hope you're doing well, sir.
So Rudix here, Thrash has a PlayStation channel as well called PlayStation Bros, and Thrash has an amazing following of PlayStation. Uh,
DualSense
he
Edge.
plays
That's
everything. He
good.
just tells the truth and holds Xbox accountable. That's what it is. I think I stated that correctly.
Ah, well
Got this
said.
hint. I know. I mean, that was kind of funny. I'm gonna have to. Yeah, Thrash is cool. Thrash is a cool person. Thanks for having me. And I'm gonna holiday. He does a gaming show that's from the gamers at the end of the year. Instead of being a commercial thing, like David Wilson was talking about earlier, he does one that's from the gamers for the gamers.
Very cool. I'll have to check out the channel.
Yeah. So
Oh,
yeah.
how's
So
your edge blue? Obi, the blue edge is actually a skin. So I skin all my controllers. Watch this. Thrash, don't look. This is an Xbox Elite 2 that I use for PC gaming for my clout.
PC
But I skin it.
Thrash, let me know when you're if you still want to do that collab and if I can still put my category in because like they never talk about best score. They never talk about best score in a game, and I think this year we've had some amazing game scores out there. So
What do you mean, like somebody getting the high score
no, like a
of a game?
soundtrack, like the score,
Oh,
like the
like a
soundtrack.
soundtrack.
Like I use score differently because soundtracks are usually songs that
Mm.
are already known that you put into like a game, and a score is like where they create music for the production. So
And okay, you're going to nominate your musical game. Did that one come out?
which one? The music? No, that is a good one. Stray Gods is a good one, but I think
Yeah.
yeah, I think there's a bunch of them. I think you could say Stray Gods. I think you could do Tears of the Kingdom. I think you could do, like I said,
Of course.
Remnant has a really good one. I think there's like 4 or 5 games like that have really good scores that have come out already. So
Wilson and I played Remnant 2 together, and we had an issue where we could not figure out which one of us was going to be the leader. And
what?
so we just argued for about an hour about who's going to be the leader, who's going to lead which way. It's fun. It's good to have your friends in when you're gaming, though.
I love games
Shit,
with
those
people. And
times.
Octopath Traveler, that's a good. Yeah, see, like there's good people. I think music is like one of the things that brings me into gaming, puts me in the mood. So, I want to. The game competitions where they talk about like not just one song, like the entire game, like the score, the entire score.
I mean, not lo-fi. What am I thinking? Hi-Fi Rush. That was a great
Hi-Fi
musical
Rush is yeah,
rendition.
like hi-fi. Like I'm saying, like this year had a lot of solid scores. Um, Person we interviewed on this channel, Megan McDuffie, had one of her scores released. Right, she was working on a project all year, and she released. She's also the one that redid the music for the Atari series. So if you remember that, like the Atari retro game series, she did that, and then she also worked on River City Girls 2.
Oh, the Outright games.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Oh,
So definitely, um, yeah. But yeah. So King Thrash does that at the end of the year. It comes after the Jeff Knightley Game Awards show, and so we'll do it.
and I'm sure there's a lot of people with anticipation behind that this year. A lot of people have their game choice lined up. I'm sure
For
there's a lot
this
of
year's
people
game year,
with, yeah,
I
people
think
are
this year.
just saying Zelda is a
No,
shoe
I
in.
actually don't think so. I actually, I love Nintendo. I love Tears of the Kingdom. I bought like over 1,000. Like I bought everything, everything the Nintendo store
I
had.
saw.
I bought, right. And as a Zelda fan, maybe a super fan if you want to call me that, I don't think Tears of the Kingdom is going to win. I don't. I don't. I've been talking to people I work with who actually are like gaming. I'm not going to say I'm a gaming insider. But I know gaming insiders, and they're not talking Tears of the Kingdom. They say it's an amazing game, which I agree, but they're not saying that they think that's going to win.
Could be true because it's more of the same, but it did innovate in a new way.
Yeah.
I understand how Baldur's Gate opened up a genre of gameplay to an enormous amount of people. But I don't know. I feel like Zelda just always has that shoe in for most, like Ocarina of Time being my opening into gaming world. Hogwarts is a good shout out too, and we still haven't seen Spider Man 2.
So Hogwarts, I heard that they may not nominate that one, right? So some people are saying that may not get
What?
nominated.
Poor Harry.
I don't know why they wouldn't. But no, I think Starfield is going to be lucky if it gets nominated. If it gets nominated, it's because of a Microsoft
What's
push.
that rune?
But I think, yeah, I think it's gonna go. And this is controversial take, but I think it's actually gonna go. If you look at like the games of the years and past, they give a lot of credit to people who have opened up a new game and a game you can share with someone else. So if you look at like 2022, we had between God of War and what's the game that actually
The
won?
Ring of Elden.
Yes, right, multiplayer. If you look at the year before that, you had again another type of this with EA and Hazelnut Studios.
Take two.
Right. It's very different. The same thing this one. Tears of the Kingdom, Final Fantasy 16 to King Thrash as well. Great games. They will all be nominated. But a lot of people are saying Baldur's Gate 3 because of the genre it opened up, because of the amount, the size of it, and because it is like a different type of game that you can experience with your friends. That's what I'm hearing. I'm not saying it's going to get it though. I hope the next Diablo patch is good. I like Diablo. What's wrong with Diablo? But I think I don't care. The one that only matters to me is the one that is on the King Thrash gaming show, on that game show. So we'll see. Baldur's Gate 3 and FC are leading the pack right now. It could be, yeah. They're all there. I don't think it's Tears of the Kingdom. I think it's. I think whoever. I just don't know. I can definitely tell you it's not Starfield. I'm not hearing one insider say Starfield. If anything, I'm hearing people are disappointed at Starfield. These are people who know. They know the people who made Starfield, and they're saying like great game, but at the end of the day, it's not the same world immersion that you see in Tears of the Kingdom, that you see in Baldur's Gate 3, that you've got that you see in Elden Ring. They're not saying it's that same type of world. They're saying it's like great game, but it's just it's not something that's necessarily the world interacts with you the same way. That's what I'm hearing. So and
I can see that.
That's from people who like have a vote. There's not fan people. These are people who are like they build games. They know Todd Howard. Like when they go to the games conferences, like they're all talking to each other, and multiple of them have said, "I'm just telling y'all what I hear when I talk to them." Like y'all know, I had the inside scoop on several different games before. Like I'm not just BSing you on that one, but I would not be surprised if it's Baldur's Gate 3. I have to head out. All right, Rudix, no problem. All right.
Yeah, Hannah's done with her call. I'm going to
All right.
be taking off.
All right. Well, thanks, Rudix. We do this every other week. And so thanks for coming on. And glad we hashed out the remake versus remaster.
Yes, it was good to have that. Take care, and thanks for having me on. As always, it was a pleasure. And
no problem. See ya.
Be well and bring peace into the world. Because that's what that little statue says in Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
Don't ruin this. Okay. All right. Later, Rudix. Peace. All right. Well, y'all, that's Rudix, and y'all know we're going to go a little bit longer. We're going to bring Holtz back on. Anybody else who wants to jump on, let me know, because we will be taking down the stream. We are not doing a 4-hour stream again. I feel so privileged that y'all would come here and talk gaming with me. But if it is, like I said, what does Rune Mumba say? The 6 nominees should be Baldur's Gate, Final Fantasy 16, Hogwarts Legacy, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Hi-Fi Rush. You know, they always have to have that indie game, but I think the one you would go over Hi-Fi Rush is that one that just came out. Something Sea of Something. Not Sea of Thieves or whatever. It's that game that just came out a month ago. I think that one would get over Hi-Fi Rush for no other reason than recency bias. And Spider-Man 2. And give it to Final Fantasy 16. Wow, Rune, that's pretty high praise. Final Fantasy 16, really? 100% fire. Purple and Rudix had good. Rudix is good. It's the curly hair. Sea of Stars. That's the game. Sea of Stars. I think Sea of Stars would get nominated over Hi-Fi Rush.
I didn't hear a single word you and Rudix mentioned.
About the games?
I heard curly hair and I walked into the corner and I sulked.
Oh my gosh! Well,
I mean, when I was young and hip, like, you know, the cool kids like Rudix, I used to have locks similar, but not Rudix locks. I never used to admit my hair was curly.
Oh my goodness!
I used to use the word wavy.
Oh my goodness, you're ridiculous. No, I have wavy. So I do curly hair from about late spring through mid-fall, and then I straighten it, y'all. So y'all will see it straightened here.
Before the stadium,
November.
I could grab this receding hairline, and I could actually put it up to my chin.
Oh, like Maker of Chaos.
Right, and I used to have it to my sort of lower neck here. I used to call it wavy because never used to like curl.
This is wavy. Rudix actually has curly. This is wavy.
The story was, I don't know if I told you this before.
Let me see.
When I was a kid, my mum.
Wavy. It's like got some curl, but it's wavy. Cammy was a beautician. Cammy can tell you this is wavy.
Here's my funny example, right? When I was a kid, my mum used to say to me, eat your crusts on your toast or your bread, because it will give you curly hair. Now, I never used to like crusts on a bread. I was that person that I never liked crust on a bread. And then I grew up with curly hair, and I was like, Mum, why did you lie to me? I've got
Later,
curly
Obi.
hair.
Obi's piecing out. Later, Obi. No, but your mother's saying, keep going, Holtz.
Eat your crusts on your bread because it'll give you curly hair. And to me, I was like, I don't
Oh,
want
he
curly
must
hair.
have not ate enough of it. Must not. Oh, Tony Baloney, what's going on, Tony? Hi-Fi Rush was good, overrated. Was good, but overrated in my opinion. I didn't like the music timing. Yeah, so I don't think I think Sea of Stars. There's gonna be an indie game that's nominated. Would I love it to be Remnant 2? Yeah, betcha. But they're not gonna do that. They're gonna give you Sea of Stars, and that's gonna be your nomination.
You're like me. You're happy for it to be nominated. You wish it's going to win, but we know we're the minority, but we're happy that it's being acknowledged. And I feel like there's like when you just mentioned about music scores, I could name a lot that deserves to win, but it's not going to win. And I feel like sometimes there might be a little bit of genre or platform biased. But to me,
No,
I'm
there
not.
is platform bias. There is, but I think, like I said, I think the actual best score, you're gonna have to. It may go to Stray Gods. Like that is as far as music goes, Austin Winery. I mean, it has a really big composer in it. It may go to Stray Gods, and no one's talking about that game.
I've talked about Stray Gods.
About to Netflix and cookie. What type of cookie, Mr. Urban World? And if you say one of those cake cookies, I'm gonna. Ooh, Purple. Stop saying Hi-Fi is indie. It's not. No, it's not. Hi-Fi looks like an indie. You're right. It's not. It's a big one, Rune. It's a big one.
But I've played Stray Gods, man.
You have played Stray Gods. It's a good one.
I could sing a few songs. I could tell you a few scores, but yeah, come on, guys, in chat, play Stray Gods.
Play Stray God. It's gonna probably be on sale here in like another month. It's a really good. I'm actually gonna probably play this one tomorrow. Tomorrow.
I mean, I'll play it tomorrow. It's only daylight.
Hi-Fi is indie to Tony. I don't think so. Hi-Fi is not, but they always have that game, right? So Stray technically was from Annapurna Games. We know Annapurna does and they put Stray in the Game of the Year conversation here. But I think Hi-Fi Rush, honestly, if it did not Shadow Drop, or what was it? Shadow Drop. It wasn't even a Shadow Drop, right? They announced it, and then it dropped the same day on Game Pass. If they had not done that, and this game was just from like a Nintendo, it would be one of many games on Nintendo that people would.
I think the whole point of like Hi-Fi Rush, I did love the character design. I did like the music, except for Hi-Fi Rush. But usually when you hear the soundtrack, it's more of like a clashing a drum beat. I'm not saying that you can't have a drum beat that will make a score. I'm just trying to say you can hear it, and it's not something that you'll go, oh my god, that soundtrack is wild.
I agree. I put Hi-Fi Rush. So there was another game score last year that was similar to Hi-Fi Rush, and that was not to the music, but like the category of music. That was like the music was part of the game, and that was that like rock one. It was like a shooter, and it was like rock.
Oh, you had the meats. Oh, with all the metal bands.
Yeah, it was like the metal band one, like the very. And so I'm like, okay, if that one didn't win, they're not gonna give it to Hi-Fi Rush.
I mean, to me, like God of War winning.
Metal Hellsinger. Thank you, Ron.
When you hear like God of War, like you hear the Norse, and you hear like the sort of like the chant, and that was something that we've not heard before we played in games. When you just hear them saying just one instrument, it's not powerful enough to sell the Game of the Year.
Yeah, it's. So, no, keep going, Holt.
And that's why I think to myself, it's got to have layers to that score. to make it. It doesn't have to be operatic. It doesn't have to have like cellos and violins and pianos. It could be anything. But I feel like just having that one layer of what I believe Hi-Fi Rush was. I thought that can win on artistic design, and it can win on sort of like a cloud-based design, but I don't think it's going to win on a score.
No, on a score. I think Rune's just saying Hi-Fi Rush is a great game, and no, I don't. If it was on Nintendo, it probably would have been like, oh, that's a Nintendo Wii graphical game.
Now,
It's not going to win, blah, blah, blah. But because it was the only thing Microsoft had to show for roughly 18 months, everybody in Microsoft's like, oh, this is such an amazing game. And I'm not saying it's not. Like, if you have fun with it, you have fun with it. I'm not saying it's not. But I'm not going to sit here and say it was like I'm going to go out of my way to play this game.
to me, a score's got to be them moments, right? It doesn't have to be like the pacing of the game. It's when you hear it, it gives you shivers, and you go, it doesn't matter what it is, or you start thinking, like, say it was a heavy metal piece, and you go, oh my god, it really energizes me to play the game. Oh my god, it's amazing. Or sometimes you sit back and you go, oh my god, this cello piano piece has just torn me by the heartstrings, and you go, oh, that's good. That is good. I feel that's what define that's what should be in the gaming. And when I just talked about Octopath Traveler 2, there's been some music pieces that I think to myself, that is damn good. I feel like
I think there's gonna be several. Like I said, I think if they're going, because the way the Game Awards does it, right? So the Academy Awards would be like best track, best score, best sound design. They do all of those. Those are all different categories. The way the Game Awards does it is they put them all in one. So you could have the best track that's really popular, right? Which is what last year they anchored on, versus the best score, which is like the entire game. So, right, I think last year, you said Octopath, so it's making me.
Last year should have been Xenoblade Chronicles.
Yeah, Xenoblade. I thought Xenoblade probably should have been the best score if we're actually looking at.
When you see when they started doing the instrumentals and they started playing the scores of the sort of highlighted reel, it was in my mind. And don't get me wrong, I really loved God of War. I do believe it was a very good score, but Xenoblade Chronicles definitely deserved to win that score melody.
But this year, like you could have Final Fantasy, like King Thrash, Final Fantasy 16 could, like, I could see that, like, that's a really solid score. I could see Stray Gods probably it has sound design. I'm not sure if it could win score.
I would say Stray Gods has a melody and a piece and instrumentals better than Final Fantasy 16. I mean, we all know that the Final Fantasy is very powerful messaging in the instrumentals and stuff like that, but I don't feel like it captivated me more than I should run out and put on my Spotify list, my vinyl list and stuff like that. I feel like Stray Gods won against that, and that is how I'm putting it. Can you knock each other off a tier? I can appreciate all the nominees, but it's like only one can win.
Yeah.
That is where I'm going with Octopath Traveler.
So you're saying Octopath, so it may be nominated. Xenoblade, I'm just saying the score as far as the Xenoblade always brings amazing scores.
I keep on saying, and I said this last year, every time I get something that holds likes, I'll do a little dance if it works.
So, but yeah, so those are my, like I said, I think those are my, I just think this year has an amazing catalog of scores, and that's what it comes up. Just as y'all know, I will be putting this out more. King Thrash, who was in chat earlier, does quite a bit for the gaming community, and he's really organizing this thing where he's getting a lot of different content creators to do their own game awards show. And last year, you all may remember, Cowboy, King of Entertainment, presented one of the awards. So yeah, it's a lot of people y'all know from the community will be, and some people you don't. So I'm kind of excited.
Well, mad respect to Square Enix this year.
Why is that?
You know, for Spoken, Final Fantasy 16, and Octopath Traveler 2. I feel like game mechanics, storytelling, visuals and pacing and scores, they definitely deserve to be like a really highlighted developer this year. I mean, Square Enix.
I have mixed feelings about Square.
Have you played Final Fantasy 16?
No.
I play for Spoken.
I want to play.
Have you played Final Fantasy 16?
No.
Okay, I get you. I get you, people. So.
Because here's why: Square's the publisher who did
don't blow smoke this way with your Outriders talk, and you don't.
Outriders is like my y'all know. Outriders is oh my goodness. If anybody wants to play Outriders, let me know. I'm down to play Outriders whenever.
But I know you like scores. I know pieces of music and that. Just listen. Just go on YouTube, play it, see it. You'll see the nomination. Character design, Octopath Traveler definitely beats Final Fantasy 16, and
I'm gonna so what happens is as it leads up to it, the categories I really like I will go and really study it, study the music. So for score, it's like that. Like as far as game of the year, I think it's gonna, like I said, people I'm talking to.
I would love to see. I would love to see this in end of November, December. I would love to see it.
Yeah, so I've heard Forspoken was actually a lot better than everyone was saying on reason. I think when I saw Forspoken, it had what I like action adventure games. Like I like hack and slash games. So and it has a protagonist. Like I said, I think the chick's mix. So I got to give her some respect there. She's from New York, so like she got a lot of things. Like right that and so I wanna give it a shot.
Frey is one of the best female protagonists I've played in about a decade plus.
I think I don't know. So Rune is saying it's not that great. I think it's better than what it got. Like right when Forspoken came out, there was a lot of hate towards it. A lot of people threw it into like this wokeness and which I hate when people bring this into gaming. I really hate that. And so I do think that there was maybe some dialogue that was kind of messed up from what I heard, but the game looks like something I would play. It's actually in the top 5 things I would play.
I know that maybe a lot of people might not like the accent or the dialogue of the New Yorker. I don't even she's New Yorker, the actress. But I thought to myself, what a great piece. I mean, I'm not from New York, and I am going to go to New York. But in this instance, I thought to myself, wow, it's so different from what I actually know. And I feel like Frey's attitude and badassness puts it in the ranks of what I say, like Jill Valentine, Regina from Dino Crisis, Bayonetta and stuff like that. They've got the sass and the cheek and the sort of badass that it really puts her in the light of like a female protagonist.
Yeah. So like I said, it's one of the top 5 games. And David Wilson, if you ever want to play Outriders, let me know. Like I said, I just love what they did with the game.
No, people, stop going back to Outriders.
Yeah, I have to. I love Outriders.
Move on. It's gone. It's gone. New Square Enix. Square Enix, how you want to say it?
Yeah. No. Well, I love Outriders. It's such a great game. It's cross-platform.
Well, it can't unless it's a remake or a remaster. It can't win Game of the Year.
It's not going to win Game of the Year, and I blame Square Enix for not publicizing it as much.
Listen here, people. Listen here. I know you've got that sexy, tight, slim Jade PlayStation 5. Play Final Fantasy, will you? Then we'll talk.
So no, they're all on my list. Like there's a whole list. I'm telling you, when the better looking PlayStation comes out,
you've got it.
Yeah, I am going to make a video, and it's going to be the most ridiculous thing, because I'm going to have like an Xbox shirt. I'm going to have everything, and I'm going to be like, and I'm going to make it like this huge thing, like oh my goodness, PlayStation, this is amazing.
Purple is jade green with a black trim around the side. Trust me.
Oh my, no, my God, stop it! I'll have to once I get through my back and up again at Xbox and hit you up 100. Sure, let me just know, David. It's a story. I want to go back into it. I totally forgot what happened in the story. It's like Outriders is an amazing game. I can't even remember what happened. Just kidding. I know exactly what happens.
And it's getting showcased on Get Over here Thursdays next week.
The way Frey talks is kind of woke. She talks like a modern teen. That's probably the only woke part about it. I don't, really.
I would not say. I would
Remake
never.
and
Say,
remaster.
I would not say Frey is woke in any shape or form. In the sense.
Well, that's the whole thing. I think what people have now. So y'all heard earlier, Rudix was talking about like remake and remaster and how there's not a definition. I don't think there's a definition for woke, other than I'm annoyed with that. It's something that other people are doing. I'm gonna call it woke.
I have been. See, this is the game, the woke game. I've been there when I've seen a lot of games or services or even Disney franchises getting called woke, and I've watched them, and I just think to myself, you have to make it. You have to stand up on yourself and make your own decision, because following a narrative and boycotting something because you believe it's woke because your favorite article makes you more woke than the idea of Forspoken or a Disney franchise or something like that. And because I think to myself, I really trust Square Enix. And when I played Forspoken, and it was, like I said, a female protagonist, New York, it was a magical twist, the way they traverse. It just made me fall in love with this franchise that I feel like it definitely needs to get a nomination in Game of the Year. But hitting only like a 7-ish, 70-ish in gaming, people automatically default as crap, because the same regurgitated crap annually, Call of Duty, blah, 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 is getting 90-ish, and I think that's what's hurting innovative storytelling.
Well, I think Forspoken will build on it. I think, like, I just feel like, again, I think
how can it expand on it if the money's not there? If the investment was put in it and people fail to play it because they have a dislike, then it's never going to have a sequel. And that pains me, because the same garbage every annual is what's making these companies money. And in the end, we're talking about like best protagonist, best story, best score, best musical piece. And you can have all that in the game, but as long as the mechanics don't captivate especially a younger audience, like Fortnite or Roblox and stuff like that, the game's going to be overshadowed because no one's going to invest in it. And I feel like when I look back now, I start realizing that a lot of my games that I really liked were hidden gems. And it only came when games evolve or move down generations that they start to realize, oh, I can't believe I missed that game. And I think that's what Forspoken is, a hidden gem. I think there's too many hidden gems that, because the mainstream, overshadow it.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've said this before. I think there's some. I try to bring up games that are not right, like a game series that no one talks about. That I think the first one is solid, great music, interesting storyline, not the best graphics, but it got overlooked, and I think it's a pretty cool game, especially if you like dungeon crawler type of games or Souls types. It's Blasphemous. I think Blasphemous 1 and 2 are like, if you want a good, like, solid little series, go play.
Well, that is why, from like even the state of community, I would trust your word wholeheartedly. Cowboys, Rudig, stuff like that, I'll trust your words wholeheartedly. Because like when you mentioned like Stray Gods, all you said was like Wolf Among Us meets American Gods. And when I seen the trailer, I was like, okay, I think it was more like Sin City, the detective, the inner monologue, the weird, bizarre characters meets the Wolf Among Us. And then when I played, I was like, oh my God, Purple's right to it. And I'd rather have that and be fully invested in your takes in gaming, Cowboys, player, than ever seeing the likes of IGNs or the big YouTubers. Because they sell a narrative. And I feel that pushes the narrative for the idea of Game of the Year. And that is why when I'm listening to you guys, King Fresh and stuff like that, Make Chaos, you're bringing games up that I never paid attention to, but if you just said, listen, I'm thinking of you, this is definitely your game, it makes you go instantly buy. Because we're not following the mainstream, should I say.
I appreciate that. Well, I do try to find, like I said, that there was a game that there's a couple of games that have come out, and I don't know. I find interest like the big ones. A lot of the commercialized ones, I don't like. Obviously, Tears of the Kingdom was that, but
I'm getting that way myself, Purple, where I'm starting to see like streams of like indie titles, and they're so innovative in the mechanics or story features that they're playing that now I'm starting to realize that I don't want to start going to this like real life um graphics. I feel like I should dial it back now more to something more that great story, great music, friendly, fun to play than the idea of this realistic shooter, realistic racer, realistic that. And I feel like myself now at this age, I feel like I'm more leading into these. And I never really liked the idea of indies, but now I'm starting to realize that indie titles are starting to develop a lot more features than the idea of a AAA.
yeah. Well, I appreciate you saying that. Like, because well, the thing about indies, and I tell everybody if you all can go to a PAX West or a PAX East, or if you can go to some of these conferences, the thing about it is a lot of the indies today have the best creators from the former big studios.
Mm-hmm.
And they left the big studio because the big studio told them like, no, you can't put that in a story, you can't do that game mechanic. So what they'll do is like you'll see like some of these teams have like the best that was at that when EA was at the top, they took those when ABK was at the top, they took those like and they formed their own studios. And now because games are actually, despite the big budgets from for that you hear about AAA games, what you're actually seeing is you're taking like teams of developers of like 10 and 12 making amazing games.
Yeah, and that's why like we talk like sort of Ubisoft with Assassin's Creed and
All
Far
right,
Cry.
Night Rouster. Or Crow probably shut it down here in 7 minutes. Hold, we got to shut it down in 7 minutes.
Ubisoft with Far Cry and Ubisoft, Far Cry and Assassin's Creed, and then I was like, well, I love Ubi Hearts, Rayman, Valiant Hearts, Child of Light, and stuff like that. And then I started realizing, it wasn't just the art style, like because I've seen other games, but I started realizing there was more to it. But they've not got the marketing push to get the articles. So it's only when you hear word of mouth that someone can recommend it to you that you start seeing it. And I feel like that even when you go to YouTube, you sit there and you announce the trailer, but it's overshadowed by all the other notifications that you just click on the stuff you hear. And I feel like now as a gamer, it really pains me now that I'm overshadowing a lot of things. Mr. Baben recommended me 2 this year. You recommended me 1. And I think to myself, wow, I've really enjoyed these games, and they're not really deemed as big hitters, should I say? But
No, well, I'm gonna continue. Like that's what I find. That's what I like in games. I will play like, as I'm playing Diablo now. That was a big one. I played Tears of the Kingdom. That was a big one. But I think that's like all the big ones that I really have jumped into this year. But yeah, I don't know. I like I said, I like. There's certain games I like. There are certain developers I follow. Um, Another developer I follow that I'm really looking for, which was on here earlier this year, who they were so nice, so amazing, and so I'm gonna put Tequila Works, right? And they put out Guilt, and they're gonna put out they just set this next one that they're doing, Song of Nuno. They believe that is or what is it? Song of I think it's Song of what is this? Tequila Works. What is it? It's coming out in a month, I think. Song of Nuno, yeah. Song of Nuno, a League of Legends story. That's gonna be another emotional story. So I'll probably get that day and date just because those are amazing. Nuno, not Nuno. Nunu. Song of Nunu. Song. Okay, Song of Nunu. Oh, I'm sorry. I know someone at work named Nuno. The game is day one for me. It's pronounced.
New?
No, not no, new. Like Nunu or
I
no?
was like Nunu the Hoover from Teletubbies.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's gonna be pretty good. You know, it's from Guilt, and like I said, the Tequila works. He's so awesome. That was a great interview. If you haven't watched it, it was one of the Shades of Purple back in June, right before Guilt went multi-platform. Um, awesome guy. He was super cool. That was like a day one switch. Like that morning, they said, "Hey, you can't get the creative director. Would you like to interview the CEO?" And I was like, "Yeah." So that was super cool. When's it coming out? I think it's coming out later this month or next month, Wilson. So whenever it is, I'll make a post about it. You can guarantee. Hey, Crow, how are you? You can guarantee I'm going to make a post when that game comes out, just because. Yeah, Tequila Works, awesome studio. Again, another company that brought in a lot of former studio people from other companies. From almost 10 years, but all the single player games, it has some of the best lore in gaming. Ooh, and I would love to hear what you think about it. What I'm noticing is a lot of animes and movies eventually get video games, and vice versa. Vice versa. We'll release Song of New League of Legends story on November 1st on the Nintendo Switch and PC. Nice, Crow. Crow always has the answer. Always has the answer right there. Me and Georgia played League of Legends here. That's almost. It's got to be amazing. That's all I can tell you. I haven't been disappointed with any of what Tequila Works did. Well, it's because it's easy, Tony. It's easy to license that out and get the money, you know? It's all about some of these games, they spend a lot of money, and think about it. Usually a game dev makes between, they say on average, 5 to 10,000 a month. That means if it takes you 2 to 3 years to build the game, if you do it like a small studio size, you may put $1 million to $1.5 million into the game development with all the overhead costs and outsourcing. So, yeah, you have to sell at least, hopefully, a 500,000 copies to make your money back. How it is. But it'll be day one. I may give it away. When it comes out. Oh my gosh. Well, we got 2 minutes, Holtz. What's going on?
Well, I'm looking at the chat and I'm like, damn, crackling mic. I'm eyeing up this wire, I like to say. I need a new wire. if I can give a message to chat, is what we've learned in hair care. I want you to realise and step back in gaming and detangle, loosen up, and pick the strengths of what's working for you. That's how you should pick Game of the Year.
Oh my gosh, detangle, you're so. I did do. Critics came on. I don't know. Like I said, it's about to get straightened. When it gets colder, I straighten the hair. I like that the fall winter look.
I used to like getting the straighteners on, sort of like the emo look.
Oh my god, the emo is such a better way to pick in there. Whatever Rune declares. Okay, Rune. What did you say? Final Fantasy 16 Rune? That's yours.
I mean,
pretty good one.
In hair care, I'm going for the no shampoo.
The no shampoo.
I've not washed my hair in about 2 months.
That's impossible. I couldn't. I have to wash my hair like.
No, I've not washed my hair in 2 months since Shades of Purple in August.
Jimmy Butler. What are you talking about, Rune? Jimmy Butler. Oh my goodness, what's going on?
Just cold water and a brush.
Alrighty. Well, Holt, any final words? Because I'm going to shut it down here in 30 seconds.
Close it down.
Well, y'all, thanks for coming by. Next week, I will probably have another reunion show with someone. Actually, or a new interview. I got to figure out what the schedule says. Oh yeah, he did. He did do that for the media day, Rune. I forgot. But thanks for stopping by. And like I always say, I always appreciate everybody coming by, especially on a Thursday, staying up late with me. But with that, I don't care where you game, how you game, why you game, when you game, what you game on, as long as you're gaming. You're good with me. And as always, this is Purple Haze, and the proof is in the playing. All right. Thank you, y'all. Take care. Peace. Wait, we got to talk tomorrow. Later.